Chapter 457. The appearance of the intelligent war chariot quickly attracted the attention of the night demons. Instantly, hundreds of night demons flew over. Before they arrived, a murderous aura swept over. Shen Mengfei's expression froze. She reminded, "Senior, there are too many foreign races. Should we leave?" "Leave? Chen Gu is here to kill the foreign races, okay?" A meaningful smile appeared on Yang Hao's and the others' lips. Su Chen opened the car door and walked out as if he didn't hear anything. What is he trying to do? Shen Mengfei was extremely nervous and puzzled. She had witnessed Su Chen's strength. It was abnormally strong. However, there were hundreds of foreign races flying over. Could Su Chen fight 100 of them alone? So what if he could kill them? Would the tens of thousands of foreign races on the island just sit back and watch their compatriots be killed? Once they all charged over, they would all be buried here. Boom, boom. Suddenly, 2 thunderstorms resounded in the sea. Su Chen had released 2 thunderstorms, killing the hundreds of night demons on the spot. What a powerful lightning-type spell. Seeing hundreds of night demon clansmen killed in an instant, Shen Mengfei was dumbfounded. What level is he at? Until now, she still didn't know Su Chen's exact cultivation level. Just as she was thinking about this, she suddenly realized that Su Chen wasn't just a one-type Dharma psychic. Previously, he had released wind and fire, and now he had released lightning. Didn't that mean that Su Chen was a 3-type Dharma psychic? And he had very deep attainments in each of them. It was terrifying to think about. It was unheard of. Shen Mengfei couldn't help but exclaim, "Oh my god. He's a 3-type Dharma psychic." When Yang Hao and the others heard this, they smiled but didn't say anything. They thought to themselves, what Brother Chen has shown is only the tip of the iceberg, and you're already making such a big fuss over nothing. Won't you be scared to death when Brother Chen starts slaughtering everyone? Human, you dare to kill my night demons. You deserve to die. Soon, another few hundred night demons flew over. The leader was a middle-aged man with a rough appearance. His body was surrounded by a layer of extremely violent aura. Judging from his aura, he was a level 5 evolver. Want to kill me? Do you have the strength? Su Chen sneered and slashed with his blade. In an instant, a blue torrent swept out, and the terrifying will of thunder and lightning wreaked havoc. What level is this lightning-type spell? Shen Mengfei had never seen such a terrifying lightning attribute technique before. At this moment, her heart trembled. Amidst the screams, the hundreds of night demons couldn't resist and were all killed. The charred corpses fell into the sea like raindrops, and the waves kept rolling. Seeing this, Shen Mengfei's jaw almost dropped. A single spell was enough to kill a level 5 evolver and hundreds of other evolvers. It was simply unimaginable. Seeing Shen Mengfei's shocked expression, Yang Hao reminded her. Chen Gu only used 1/10 of his strength. There's nothing to be surprised about. 1/10, Shen Mengfei opened her mouth, and her thoughts stopped. After the hundreds of night demons died, an angry roar came from myriad Lynx Mountain Island. Human, I want you dead. Then, a tall figure rushed over from the island. Are you preparing to save your grandfather? Su Chen laughed. The other party came in batches, and it was no different from suicide. Chapter 458. Go to hell. The tall night devil clansman rushed over and raised his hand to punch Su Chen. Instantly, a violent murderous aura spread out like a stormy sea, giving people a heavy sense of oppression. Yang Hao and the others found it hard to breathe under the erosion of the murderous aura. Shen Mengfei's expression changed as she cried out, a level 6 evolved being. A level 6 evolved being was the top existence in the mysterious heavenly continent. She could not help but worry for Su Chen. Originally, Su Chen's life and death had nothing to do with her. However, since she was on Su Chen's pirate ship, she was bound to Su Chen. If Su Chen was defeated, she would die with him. On the other side, Su Chen's mouth twitched slightly in the face of the ferocious punch. He instantly released his mental strength. Although he was only a level 5 telekinesis master, after consuming the essence fruit, his mentality had slightly surpassed level 6. It was enough to deal with a level 6 evolved being. The tall night demon suddenly felt an invisible force pressing down on him. It was as if he had fallen into a swamp, and all his movements were sluggish. Level 6 mentality. Sensing that Su Chen was a level 6 telekinesis master, the tall night demon was terrified and struggled with all his might. Su Chen would not give him a chance to break free. He raised his hand and cast a thunderstorm spell. No, the tall night demon let out a desperate roar before he was blasted into smithereens by the explosive power of the thunderstorm spell. He killed a level 6 evolved being so easily? Shen Mengfei's eyes widened in shock. A powerful level 6 evolver was killed by Su Chen in a single breath. He felt that it was unreal, as if he was in a dream. Master is dead. Despicable human. Avenge Master. The death of the tall night demon caused a wave of hatred on Myriad Mountains Island. All the night demons were united against a common enemy. They saw Su Chen as a target to be killed. Kill. The battle cries shook the heaven and earth as the night demons flew into the air and charged at Su Chen. In an instant, the sky was filled with the voices of the night demons. They were so dense that half of the sky was covered. At the same time, a majestic murderous aura rushed over, causing everyone on the intelligent war chariot to tremble in fear. Senior, let's go quickly. Shen Mengfei's face was pale as she shouted at Su Chen with trembling lips. In her opinion, even a level 7 evolver would have to flee if tens of thousands of aliens charged over at the same time. No matter how strong Su Chen was, it was impossible for him to be a level 7 evolutionary, right? If he didn't run for his life, he would really be buried here. Su Chen was indeed not at level 7, but in this situation, his advantage was much greater than that of a level 7 evolver. With the ancient god-fiend body, he could ignore all attacks of the same level. Although there were many night demons charging over, the strongest of them was only at level 5. It was impossible for them to cause any harm to him. Therefore, the human wave tactic was no longer effective against him. Good timing. Su Chen was not afraid and punched from afar. Whoosh whoosh, in the shrill sound of the wind, 100 golden fist shadows appeared in the air. What is this? Sensing the extremely sharp killing intent emitted by the fist shadows, the night demon clansmen who rushed over first all revealed terrified expressions. Before they could react, the 100 golden fist shadows crashed into the crowd. Bang bang, hundreds of night demons were blasted apart and died on the spot amidst the sounds of raindrops hitting banana leaves. Chapter 459. What a powerful secret fist technique. Shen Mengfei's face was full of shock. She looked at Su Chen with a strange look in her eyes. The rest of the night demons were shocked by Su Chen's powerful punch. A sense of fear began to spread. Brothers, he's alone. Let's attack together. We can definitely kill him. A level 5 night demon clansman roared. Kill. The night demons gathered their courage and charged at Su Chen again. Su Chen wielded a pitch-black sword and slashed forward. In an instant, a terrifying chill swept out. It was as if they had entered a world of ice. The temperature plummeted, and even the seawater was frozen. As for the night demons who were flying in the air, they felt a chill invade their bodies. Then, they lost their life force and turned into ice sculptures, falling from the sky. In the blink of an eye, thousands of night demons smashed into the frozen sea and shattered into pieces. Too powerful. Shen Mengfei didn't know what to say. Her shining eyes never left Su Chen. The rest of the night demons paused in midair again, looking at each other in dismay. Su Chen's strength was completely beyond their imagination. A simple punch had killed hundreds of their clansmen. Then, an ice-type spell killed thousands of them. Facing such a terrifying existence, they began to tremble. The anger and killing intent from before had long disappeared. Seeing that the night demons had stopped charging forward, Su Chen didn't plan to let them go. He raised his sword and swept out again. This time, it was the lightning magic spell. The thunder magic spell was a combination of barren godly thunder and ninth heaven dazzling thunder. In terms of damage, it had already surpassed the ice magic spell and was comparable to a level 7 spell. Rumble, a blue torrent flashing with lightning swept up and rushed into the crowd of night demons and began to wreak havoc. Wherever it passed, not a single night demon clansman could stop it. Following a series of shrill screams, the night demons turned into charred corpses one after another, falling from the sky and smashing into the frozen sea surface with loud thuds. Run! He's not human. Under Su Chen's torture, all the night demons broke down. They flapped their wings and flew toward Myriad Mountains Island. Su Chen needed a large number of fragments. Of course, he wouldn't let them escape. He leaped into the air and stepped into the air as if he was walking on flat ground. He charged towards the night demons. Whoosh! A huge gray beam shot out from Su Chen's hand. Hundreds of night demons were cut in half. Then, a fireball the size of a face fell from the sky and landed among the night demons. Like a volcanic eruption, hundreds of night demons were blown to pieces. In order to kill more night demons, Su Chen summoned the super ancient devouring Vajra mosquitoes to help. The heavenly overlord turtle couldn't fly, so it wasn't useful now. The man and the beast chased after each other. No one knew how many they had killed. Half the sky was dyed red. In the end, they had killed their way into Myriad Mountains Island and disappeared from everyone's sight. He can fly. How many trump cards does he have? How strong is he? Shen Mengfei mumbled with a blank expression. Chapter 460. The shock that Su Chen brought to Shen Mengfei was unprecedented. He had single-handedly defeated tens of thousands of foreign tribesmen, causing them to flee for their lives. It was truly a case of one man holding back 10,000 men. He was truly a peerless hero that was hard to come by. At this moment, Shen Mengfei was not only filled with admiration for Su Chen, but there was also a strange emotion mixed within. On the other side, Su Chen had killed his way into Myriad Lynx Mountain Island. The night demons' corpses were strewn all over the place, and there were countless casualties. The massacre lasted for more than an hour before it stopped. The reason was that the remaining night demons had fled into the interworld passage and were unwilling to show themselves again. Later on, Su Chen began to pick up the fragments. When he returned to the intelligent war chariot, it was already 2 hours later. During this time, he had killed more than 10,000 night demons, and more than 2,000 fragments had been dropped. Most of them had been exchanged for energy points, and his energy points had exceeded 5,000. Other than that, he had also gathered the brilliant shadow tempering metal stone, and aquamarine mercury stone. With that, he now had 5 god stones. 5 should be enough. It's time to fuse them. Su Chen secretly decided that when he left Myriad Lynx Mountain Island, he would use the fusion gem to fuse the 5 god stones together. Senior, I want to go to the island to look for my grandfather. Shen Mengfei hesitated for a moment, then asked Su Chen. Su Chen had observed the situation of Myriad Lynx Mountain Island on the central control screen. There was not a single blue dot on the island. This meant that the humans on the island were either dead or had left long ago. Similarly, Shen Mengfei's grandfather would definitely not be on the island. However, Su Chen knew that Shen Mengfei might not believe him. Considering that he still needed Shen Mengfei's help to find the primordial spirit-shaping fruit tree, he had the mechanical soldier accompany her to search. The mechanical soldier had already reached level 6, and it was enough to protect Shen Mengfei. Also, he could take the opportunity to monitor Shen Mengfei and prevent her from escaping. Half a day later, Shen Mengfei returned dejectedly. After greeting Su Chen, he entered the cabin alone and found a corner to curl up. For this result, Su Chen had long expected. After that, he entered the Myriad-linked mountain island, blew up the interdomain passage, and left on the intelligent war chariot, heading for his next target. After searching for a while on the central control screen, Su Chen decided to take a look at the island of nothingness. The size of the island of nothingness was almost the same as the Thousand Feather Island. Moreover, it was the closest island and was on the route to the mysterious heavenly continent. There was no reason not to go. The intelligent war chariot locked onto the island of nothingness and sailed at full speed. On the way, Su Chen took out 5 divine stones and began to fuse them with the fusion gem. When the 5 god stones fused together, they suddenly turned into a small hill that was about 10 feet in size. It was rippling with 5 colors, and faintly emitting the magical waves of metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. The fused god stone doesn't seem simple. As Su Chen looked at it in amazement, he suddenly received a feedback message in his mind. The feedback message could only be received when he picked up the shards. He did not expect to receive the fused god stone. Su Chen's interest was immediately piqued, and he quickly checked it. The newly fused god stone was called the Integrated 5 Extremes Mountain. It weighed up to 108,000 pounds and could change its size at will. It also contained the magical power of the 5 elements. Chapter 461. The power of the 5 elements magic of the Integrated 5 Extremes Mountain was compatible with the user. In other words, Su Chen was a level 5 spellcaster, so his 5 extremes magic would reach level 5. Moreover, it did not exist on its own, but as one, it was equivalent to the power of the 5 extremes magic at the same time. After reading the feedback, Su Chen took a deep breath and suppressed his excitement. Before the combined 5 extremes mountain appeared, his strongest killing move was the Chaos Skysplitter sword. The combined 5 extremes mountain's lethality was not below that of the Chaos Skysplitter sword. Just the weight of the mountain alone was not something that ordinary people could withstand. Even a titan would be smashed into a pile of minced meat if they were hit. Coupled with the terrifying power of the 5 extremes magic, the combination of the two was almost invincible. At this point, Su Chen had obtained a powerful trump card, and his power had greatly increased. As it was a few days away from the island of nothingness, everyone gathered together to eat barbecued meat, listen to music, and play do diju. Shen Mengfei also gradually recovered from her sadness. On the 5th day, the island of nothingness appeared on the central control screen. Su Chen looked up, and his eyebrows twitched. At a place called the Green Phoenix Plain, there were a large number of light spots gathered, and there were tens of thousands of them. Red spots, blue spots, and black spots were gathered, and they were clearly divided into 2 sides. One side had about 1,000 black spots and thousands of blue spots, while the other side had about 2,000 black spots and tens of thousands of red spots. Su Chen was a bit confused, and he thought to himself, could it be that the mutated races are working together with the humans to fight against another wave of mutated races and zombies? However, this was only his guess, and he had to see for himself if this was the case. After thinking for a while, Su Chen said, "Satoshi, enlarge the image." The image on the central control screen changed, and soon, the mutated races, zombies, and humans appeared. Su Chen was surprised to find that the mutated races here were not just one race, but 3. The strange races that mixed with the humans were all very short and stocky. They didn't even seem to be a meter tall. Su Chen had seen all the aliens who were with the zombies before. Most of them were from the Half-Beast clan, and there were a dozen or so from the Undead clan. The Half-Beast race was a subordinate force of the Undead race. It was not surprising that the 2 of them were together. However, what Su Chen couldn't figure out was which race those short aliens belonged to. Why were they able to mingle with humans? Why did they confront each other? Satoshi, hurry to the Green Phoenix Plains. Su Chen could not wait any longer. There were tens of thousands of zombies and thousands of non-humans. If they were all killed, they would drop at least 1,000 fragments. Yes. The intelligent war chariot received the order and quickly sailed toward the island of nothingness. Half an hour later, Su Chen saw on the central control screen that the 2 sides were already engaged in a fierce battle. In just one clash, hundreds of people were killed. At the rate they were fighting, it wouldn't take long for them to be wiped out. Su Chen definitely did not want to see such a scene. If the mutated races and zombies were all dead, where would he go to get fragments? Captain Wu, you guys continue to head to the Green Phoenix Plains. I'll go take a look first. Su Chen instructed, opened the door, and walked out alone. The intelligent war chariot's speed was actually not slow, reaching 500 kilometers per hour. However, compared to Su Chen's speed, it was far inferior. Su Chen stepped into the air and activated the rapid war boots. His true speed was not inferior to a level 7 evolver, and in the blink of an eye, he disappeared into the horizon. Chapter 462. So fast, Shen Mengfei stared at the spot where Su Chen disappeared and muttered. Su Chen was already the strongest, but she did not expect him to be faster than the others as well. A cultivator as well-rounded as Su Chen was rare in this world. On the other side, Su Chen landed on the ground after entering the island of Oblivion. Compared to flying, running on the ground gave him a greater advantage in speed. In less than an hour, he arrived at the Green Phoenix Plains. At this time, the battle on the plains was even more intense. Corpses were everywhere, and blood was flowing everywhere. The air was filled with a thick smell of blood. Su Chen squinted his eyes and looked around. He saw that the dwarfs and humans were at a complete disadvantage. Almost half of them had died, and it would not be long before they were all slaughtered. Seeing this, he rushed forward and dealt with the zombie horde first. A thunderous sound exploded in the middle of the zombie horde. Su Chen raised his hand and cast a thunderstorm spell, killing 700 to 800 zombies on the spot. After that, the spells of the other elements took turns to attack, and in less than a minute, thousands of zombies had been killed. Su Chen's domineering entrance and powerful attacks quickly attracted the attention of both sides. At this moment, they stopped fighting and looked at Su Chen. When they saw that it was a young human, the emotions of both sides were different. The humans were inexplicably excited and whispered to each other. "It's a powerhouse on our side. Oh my God. He's so young, but he's so strong. Which force is he from? I've never seen him before. He must be a hidden powerhouse. He should be a level 5 spellcaster, right? He's definitely a level 5 spellcaster, and he's of all elements." Compared to the excitement of the human race, the half-beast race was much more silent, and everyone's expression was not very good. Although Su Chen was alone, his strength was there for all to see. He could kill thousands of zombies with just a wave of his hand, and they could not help but be wary. Moreover, Su Chen was a human. It was very likely that he was a helper that the other party had invited. As a result, the situation was very unfavorable to them. "Human, why are you slaughtering our people?" A level 4 orc stepped forward and roared furiously at Su Chen. "It's because I don't like you and want to exterminate all of you. Are you satisfied with this reason?" Su Chen curled his lips and sneered. As soon as these words were spoken, there was an uproar all around. Too arrogant. Too arrogant. Shameless boasting. There were more than 10,000 outsiders here, and Su Chen actually wanted to kill them all? Wasn't he afraid that the wind would kill his tongue? A mere level 5 magic psychic dares to be so arrogant? Let me teach you a lesson. A skinny undead walked out from the beastmen. Judging from his aura, he was most likely a level 5 evolver. "I can destroy a piece of trash like you with one hand." Su Chen glanced at the other party and sneered. Instantly, there was a flurry of discussion all around. Su Chen's arrogance and conceit made even the humans speechless. Admittedly, Su Chen was very strong, but a level 5 undead was not to be trifled with either. What right did you have to say that you could kill him with one hand? There should be a limit to acting cool, right? Then let me see how capable you are. The skinny undead was enraged. He roared and charged towards Su Chen. Su Chen rubbed his nose and turned a blind eye, allowing the other party to rush in front of him. "Is he crazy?" Someone from the human side shouted in shock. Su Chen was a magic psychic, and a magic psychic's advantage was in long-range attacks. If he allowed an evolver to get close to him, the only outcome would be death. Therefore, the humans all thought that Su Chen's actions were suicidal. Chapter 463. The skinny undead tribesman also thought that Su Chen was courting death. When he rushed in front of Su Chen, a cruel smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. It was as if he saw Su Chen as a dead man. Go to hell. The skinny undead tribesman gathered his strength and aimed a punch at Su Chen's face. However, at this moment, a purple light flashed under Su Chen's feet, and he disappeared on the spot like a ghost. The skinny undead tribesman's punch missed. He could not help but feel a chill in his heart. He widened his eyes and kept searching for Su Chen's whereabouts. Stop looking. I'm behind you. Suddenly, a mocking voice reverberated in the skinny undead tribesman's ears. Oh no. The skinny undead tribesman was shocked. He turned around and threw a punch behind him. However, before he could fully exert his strength, he suddenly felt a chill on his neck. The scene in front of him became blurry, and his consciousness also fell into chaos. The skinny undead tribesman's mouth moved slightly. He saw his entire head leave his body, and his voice came to an abrupt end. I already said that I could kill you with one hand, but you didn't believe me. Su Chen glanced at the skinny undead tribesman's corpse and muttered. Following the death of the skinny undead tribesman, the surroundings fell into a strange silence. Everyone looked at Su Chen with deep fear in their eyes. There was no doubt that Su Chen's strength had completely shocked them. At the same time, they also realized that Su Chen was not only an all-elemental psychic master, but also a powerful evolved being. Moreover, the strength of an evolved being was unfathomable. A level 5 evolved being could not even make a splash in front of him and was instantly killed. His strength was too terrifying and unbelievable. The level 4 orc tribesman who had previously shouted at Su Chen was now trembling in fear. Who else is not convinced? Is there anyone who wants to fight with me? Su Chen looked around and sneered. Instantly, everyone was silenced out of fear. They didn't even dare to breathe loudly. He was afraid that an unexpected move would attract Su Chen's attention and bring about a fatal disaster. A bunch of trash. Since you're not going to make a move, then I won't hold back. Su Chen sneered. Just as he was about to attack, a huge figure suddenly flew over from afar. From afar, it looked like a moving hill. Lord Blazing Heaven is here. Despicable human, let's see how you can still be so arrogant this time. Just wait for your death. With the appearance of the huge figure, the orcs were extremely excited and started to clamor at Su Chen. At the same time, the short foreign race and the human side became nervous, and their expressions turned ugly. Blazing Heaven was a level 6 evolver of the Beastman race. On the Island of Nothingness, the highest level was level 6. Furthermore, the half-beasts had extremely high physical fitness. Therefore, their level 6 was much stronger than the human level 6. In that case, would Su Chen, who was only level 5, be a match for him? If Su Chen was not a match for him, they would have to bear the brunt of Blazing Heaven's anger. Their fate could be imagined. Who dares to slaughter my Beastman tribesmen? Do you not want to live anymore? Blazing Heaven came closer and roared angrily. A powerful aura spread out in all directions, causing everyone to be unable to breathe. Grandson, why aren't you kneeling when you see your grandfather? Su Chen pursed his lips and laughed. The Blazing Heaven in front of him was the Beastman tribesman who had been played by him in Etion City and had knelt down to call him grandfather. Chapter 464. It's you? When he saw Su Chen's appearance, Blazing Heaven was slightly stunned. Then, he laughed maniacally. Ha! There's a path to heaven, but you don't want to take it. Brat, give me your life. With that, Blazing Heaven charged at Su Chen like a madman. When he was in Etion City, not only was he played by Su Chen, but he also failed to protect the interworld passage. As a result, he was severely punished by the clan, and it was the greatest humiliation of his life. When enemies meet, their eyes turn red. At this moment, he swore to tear Su Chen's tendons apart and cut him into pieces to relieve the hatred in his heart. Attacking an elder, you're really rebellious. Su Chen curled his lips and instantly released his mind power. Blazing Heaven, who was originally like a violent lion, was restrained by Su Chen's mind power. It was as if he had fallen into a swamp, and all of his movements slowed down. Level 6 mind power. How is that possible? Sensing Su Chen's strength, Blazing Heaven cried out in shock, and his face was filled with disbelief. He still clearly remembered that when he was in Tian City, Su Chen was only level 4. After not seeing him for a few months, how could he have jumped to level 6? Even the most monstrous genius in the world could not have such a cultivation speed, right? Hearing Blazing Heaven's cry, the surroundings seemed to boil. Who would have thought that the young Su Chen was not only a powerful evolver and all-elemental Dharma reader, but also a spirit reader? 3 major professions gathered in one body, and all of them had reached a very high level of attainment. It was like a fantasy story, rare and unheard of in the world. There's still a lot you don't know, but you won't have the chance to know. The corner of Su Chen's mouth twitched. Then, he threw a punch at Blazing Sky. Whoosh whoosh, as soon as the Pegasus Meteor Fist was used, hundreds of fist shadows smashed down from the sky like a mountain. No, with a miserable shriek, Blazing Heaven was smashed to the point where not even his bones remained. Hiss. Seeing this scene, the sound of cold air being sucked in could be heard from all around. At this moment, everyone's fear of Su Chen deepened by a bit. At the same time, they also realized that Su Chen's strength was definitely not something they could estimate. How strong was Su Chen to be able to kill a level 6 evolver in seconds? Su Chen's attention was focused on the place where Blazing Heaven had disappeared. There were 10 fragments there. One of them was emitting a dazzling golden light. It was a golden fragment. It had been a long time since a golden shard had been dropped. He was sure that this golden shard was a level 6 all attributes shard. The level 6 all attributes fragment was worth 2,000 energy points in the Doomsday Merchant Center. With Su Chen's energy points, he could have exchanged for it long ago, but he felt that it was unnecessary. But since it had dropped, there was no reason not to pick it up. Su Chen quickly stepped forward and grabbed the golden fragment. Picked up, level 6 all attributes, fragment *111, the fragment is full, can be used or exchanged for energy points. Use. As soon as he finished speaking, Su Chen's aura suddenly changed, and the unique aura of a level 6 cultivator swept out in all directions. What a powerful aura. Oh my god. He's a level 6 evolver. So he was hiding his strength. Zhou's people could not resist Su Chen's aura and retreated one after another, shouting in shock. Su Chen was not in a hurry to pick up the remaining fragments. Instead, his gaze fell on the beastmen. Under Su Chen's gaze, the group of beastmen trembled in fear. Although they had tens of thousands of people, they were facing a terrifying existence that could even kill a level 6 evolver in seconds. They could not muster the slightest bit of courage to fight against him. Su Chen was probably the only one who could intimidate tens of thousands of outsiders with his power alone. Chapter 465. Run. No one knew who shouted, but the beastmen scattered like a tide. The zombies charged toward Su Chen without fear of death. Su Chen knew that the half-beastmen wanted to use the zombies to stop him so that they could escape. It was a good idea, but how could Su Chen let them have their way? He shook his hand, and a golden light flashed on his wrist. Suddenly, 2 balls of light, one golden and one red, shot out. The golden light turned into a mountainous tortoise, and the red light turned into a fist-sized blood-colored mosquito. It was the heavenly overlord tortoise and the super-ancient gorilla mosquito. Xiao Ba, Xiao Jin, kill all the zombies. Su Chen ordered and charged toward the half-beastmen. Roar. The heavenly overlord tortoise roared and charged into the group of zombies. It was like a heavy tank crushing ants. Everywhere it passed, the zombies were turned into a pile of meat paste. The super ancient gorilla mosquito's attack method was even simpler. It used suction needles to stab continuously. The red light flowed through the group of zombies. One by one, the zombies fell to the ground and died on the spot. Although the killing speed was not as fast as the heavenly overlord tortoise, it was still very fast. Seeing this, the humans were shocked again. Oh my god. It's a level 6 mutated beast and a level 6 insect beast. That young man is not only powerful, but he also has 2 level 6 spiritual pets. It's unbelievable. On the other side, Su Chen caught up with the half-beastmen and started a merciless massacre. This kind of slaughter continued for an hour. When the last miserable shriek sounded from the horizon, the entire green phoenix grassland was silent. Only the sound of the wind was left blowing in their ears. He's too powerful. After an unknown period of time, a red-faced middle-aged man on the human side said in a hoarse voice. A short male of a different race swallowed his saliva and said in a low voice, Su-kun, do you think that young expert will come and exterminate our dwarf race? Su-kun's face suddenly changed, and he began to worry. From Su Chen's behavior, it wasn't hard to see that he seemed to have a lot of hatred towards the mutated races and zombies. Maybe he really would do something bad to the dwarves. Why don't you guys leave first? Su-kun reminded. It's too late. The dwarf sighed. As far as his eyes could see, Su Chen was flying over here at the speed of a spark. After killing the half-beast men, Su Chen was not in a hurry to pick up the fragments because he still had some questions to ask. Senior, thank you for saving my life. When Su Chen came closer, Su-kun and the dwarf respectfully expressed their gratitude. Su Chen did not pay attention to him. He looked at the dwarf and asked coldly, which clan are you from? He didn't understand why these foreign races were able to mingle with humans, and why they seemed to be on good terms with each other. Junior Himu is from the dwarf race. Himu's body trembled as he replied with a bow. The dwarf race, Su Chen muttered and then turned his gaze to Su-kun. What's your relationship with the dwarf race? Su-kun quickly replied, Senior, we're in a cooperative relationship with the dwarf race, and this relationship has been maintained for decades. We've always been on good terms with each other. Worried that Su Chen would do something bad to the dwarf race, Su-kun explained the relationship between them very clearly. Su Chen rubbed his nose and fell into deep thought. The mutated races he had encountered in the past were abnormally ferocious. It was his first time encountering a race like the dwarf race that was on good terms with humans. Originally, he wanted to kill this group of dwarves, but after thinking about it, he decided not to. After all, the dwarf race wasn't a threat to humans, or rather, they were friends of humans. He really couldn't do it to such a race. Chapter 466. Why did you fight with the orcs? Su Chen asked calmly. He was a little suspicious. Was there a conflict of interest between the two sides? Su-kun did not hesitate and said bluntly, Senior, we found a large mine in Xingwan Plain. We originally agreed to split it in half, but the orcs wanted to take it all for themselves. Of course, we did not agree, so we fought. What kind of ore does the mine contain? Su Chen asked casually. There are many types of ore. Some are suitable for making weapons, some are suitable for making armor, and some are suitable for building the MCV, Su-kun explained. Hearing this, Su Chen was slightly moved. He felt that it was necessary to let the intelligent chariot identify the ore. If there was a suitable one, he had to take a batch. With this thought in mind, Su Chen continued, the strongest among you is a level 5 evolver, right? Why do you still dare to fight with the orcs? The orcs had a level 6 evolver. If he was not here, the dwarfs and Su-kun would have been slaughtered. Was it worth it to sacrifice everyone's lives for a mine? Su-kun explained, we humans and dwarfs also have level 6 evolvers. Previously, they were restraining each other in Qingyun City, so we could fight freely. In that case, your 2 level 6 evolvers should be in danger. Su-chan shook his head and whispered. He Mumu and Su-kun's faces sank. This was something they had expected. Otherwise, the level 6 evolvers of the orcs would not have come here. Are there any other aliens or zombies on the island of nothingness? Su-chan changed the topic. His purpose of coming here was mainly to obtain the fragment. The life and death of the dwarfs and humans had nothing to do with him. Su-kun thought for a moment and replied, after Senior killed all the orcs, only the puppet clan of Qingyan City was left on the island of nothingness. However, they have always been neutral and did not participate in the disputes outside. Puppet clan. Su-chan narrowed his eyes. He still remembered that when he was on Purple Mountain, there was a member of the puppet tribe who had teamed up with the devouring beast to kill him. He didn't have a good impression of the puppet race, so he planned to take a look around Green Cloud City after he was done with the matters here. Alright, you can leave now. Su-chan sent Su-kun and the others away and started to pick up the fragments. This time, he had killed a lot of beastmen and zombies, and he had obtained thousands of fragments, which made him excited. At this moment, the intelligent war chariot slowly drove over. When they saw the corpses of tens of thousands of zombies and non-humankind beings on the ground, the people in the car were shocked. Shen Mengfei swallowed her saliva and sighed from the bottom of her heart. It seems that he is much stronger than I imagined. Without waiting for Su Chen's instructions, Yang Hao and the others got out of the car one after another to dig for energy stones. 2 hours later, Su Chen finished picking up the fragments and returned to the intelligent war chariot. This time, there were no purple gold shards, but there was a considerable amount of them. Almost all of them had been exchanged for energy points. The total number of energy points had exceeded the 8,000 mark. Su Chen's gaze fell on the central control screen and began to search for the location of Qingyan City. Qingyan City was not very big. It was at most a medium-sized gathering place, more than 1,000 miles away from Qinghuan Plains. As it was beyond the surveillance range of the intelligent war chariot, it was not clear how many members of the puppet tribe were in Qingyan City. After a while, Su Chen got out of the car and helped to dig for the energy stones. After all the energy stones had been dug out, everyone returned to the intelligent war chariot and drove straight to Qingyan City. Chapter 467. After more than an hour, the image of Green Cloud City appeared on the screen. Why are there only 3 of them? Su Chen saw that there were only 3 black dots in Green Cloud City. Green Cloud City was a medium-sized gathering place, and it was under the control of the puppet race. There should be more than 3 of them. Su Chen guessed that the puppet race must have received the news and thought that he would go to Green Cloud City, so they moved their people. However, if they wanted to move, why did they leave 3 behind? Were they waiting for him to kill them? Satoshi, lock onto these 3 people and enlarge the image, Su Chen ordered. The image on the screen changed, and soon it appeared in a hall. At this time, there were 3 people of different races sitting in the hall, and they seemed to be discussing something. 2 of them were wearing long robes and bamboo hats, so he could not see their faces. The other person's skin was charred black, and there was a layer of death aura around him. 2 people from the puppet race, and 1 from the undead race. Su Chen muttered and said to the intelligent war chariot, Satoshi, what are their cultivations? The 3 of them are level 6 evolvers. Su Chen nodded slightly and did not pay attention to them anymore. 3 level 6 evolvers, even if their strength was far superior to those of the same level, were nothing in his eyes. Behind him, the intelligent war chariot sped all the way. When they reached Green Cloud City, they saw that the 2 people from the puppet race and the undead race had already appeared at the city gate, as if they had expected Su Chen to come. These 3 fellows seemed to be prepared. Su Chen muttered and walked out of the chariot alone. Human, why are you killing innocent people on our island of nothingness? When Su Chen was less than 10 meters away from them, one of the people from the puppet race raised his voice and asked. Su Chen rubbed his nose and said lightly, nothing. My hobby is to kill people of different races. As long as I see them, I will kill as many as I can. Arrogant. The undead race clenched his teeth and roared angrily. He stared coldly at Su Chen and snorted. So, you're here to kill us? Do you really think that you can be so arrogant just because you have some strength? Su Chen sized up the undead race and smiled disdainfully. One undead race and two puppet race. I can easily crush them. He was not boasting at all when he said this. Not to mention that they were only level 6 evolvers. Even if they were level 7 evolvers, they would be killed in a second. However, the puppet race and the undying race did not know Su Chen's true strength, so they scoffed at Su Chen's words. Brat, I've seen many arrogant people, but this is the first time I've seen someone as arrogant as you. However, you don't have the right to behave atrociously in front of us. One of the puppets sneered. Su Chen curled his lips, and the expression on his face became a little strange. If the undead race had said that, it would have been more reasonable. After all, the undead race was one of the 5 super races. However, what was the puppet race? They were just a subordinate force of the demonic beast race, and they dared to speak so arrogantly? Su Chen sneered and said, killing your puppet race's people is just a matter of moving a finger. Since you want to die, we will fulfill your wish. Being humiliated by Su Chen, the 2 puppet race members were furious. At the same time, they shot out 2 fist-sized iron balls, which flew into the air and spun around before exploding with a bang. Then, 2 10-meter-tall metal giants appeared in front of Su Chen. Transformers? Su Chen was stunned. He felt that the 2 metal giants in front of him were similar to the Transformers he had seen in the movies in his previous life. Chapter 468. Is this your trump card? Su Chen sneered. To him, 2 level 6 puppets could be destroyed with one hand. How dare you be so arrogant when you're about to die? Attack together and kill him. The puppet tribesman sneered. One of the steel puppets held a giant sword while the other held a giant axe. They charged toward Su Chen. Su Chen's eyes narrowed. While the 2 puppets were focused, a faint golden glow appeared on his hands. He then punched out. Whoosh whoosh, hundreds of golden fist shadows appeared and smashed down on the 2 steel puppets. Bang bang. Boom, with a loud crash, the 2 10-meter-tall steel puppets were smashed to the ground. Their bodies were full of bumps and hollows. However, although they were in a sorry state, they had not lost their ability to move. After struggling on the ground for a while, they slowly got up. Interesting. Seeing this, Su Chen was slightly stunned. In the past, when he faced opponents of the same level, the Pegasus Meteor Fist would be able to smash them into a pile of minced meat. However, these 2 steel puppets could still get up after suffering such a fierce attack. It was clear that their strength was far beyond their peers. Their bodies must be made of a very strong material. On the other side, the 3 undead tribesmen were shocked by Su Chen's violent punch. These 2 steel puppets were their greatest reliance. If they were defeated, they would have to consider escaping. Fortunately, although the steel puppets were heavily injured, they were not completely destroyed. This allowed them to breathe a sigh of relief. This human is too strong. Looks like we have to use our ultimate move. The 2 puppet tribesmen looked at each other. They raised their hands and shot out a white crystal light into the 2 steel puppets. Then, the 2 steel puppets walked together. One of them slowly merged with the other. Merge? 2 into 1. This was the first time Su Chen had seen such a situation. He did not know what the other party was up to. When the 2 puppets merged into one, Su Chen understood what was going on. After the fusion, the puppet did not change much in size, but it gave off an unusually heavy feeling. Furthermore, the aura it exuded was abnormally violent. It had reached the level of a level 7 puppet. Human, let's see how you're going to fight back this time. One of the puppets sneered. A level 7 steel golem's true combat power far exceeded that of its peers. Su Chen was only level 6, so he was definitely not a match for him. "You're too naive." Su Chen sneered and took the initiative to rush towards the steel puppet. "Kill him for me," the puppet man roared. There was a loud boom. The steel puppet stomped on the ground, causing the ground to rumble. Then, it held a huge sword with both hands and slashed down at Su Chen's head. At this moment, a pitch-black longsword appeared in Su Chen's hand, and he released his mental power. Under the effect of his mental power, the steel puppet's movements quickly became sluggish. The sword, which was originally unstoppable, could not slash down when it reached Su Chen's head. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Su Chen slashed with his sword. The void trembled slightly, and a black vortex that was around 10 feet in size emerged. It rotated slightly, and the steel puppet was enveloped within it. Crack! With a shattering sound, half of the steel puppet's body was smashed into smithereens. The remaining half of its body fell to the ground with a loud crash. The 3 undead clan members were stunned, and their expressions were dull. The powerful level 7 puppet was not a match for him. How terrifying was the power of Su Chen's attack? Was he still a level 6 cultivator? Chapter 469. While the undead tribe and the puppet tribe were in a daze, Su Chen took out the enchanted sword and slashed at them from afar. In an instant, a blue torrent swept over, and the terrifying killing intent of thunder and lightning filled the air. The 3 undead tribe members' expressions changed drastically as they tried to defend themselves. However, Su Chen's thunder and lightning technique was far beyond level 7. It was not something that 3 level 6 evolvers could defend against. Bang! 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 After 3 thunderous roars, the 3 undead tribe members' bodies exploded. Not even their bones were left behind, leaving behind a ground full of shining shards. There were more than 50 of them. Su Chen put away the enchanted sword and walked forward to pick up the shards. "Captain Wu, Chingu seems to have become stronger again." In the intelligent chariot, Chao Ran turned to look at Wu Yang and whispered. Wu Yang clicked his tongue and nodded. Judging from his aura, he seems to have entered level 6. Hiss. Everyone in the chariot sucked in a breath of cold air. Su Chen had only entered level 5 for a few days, and in the blink of an eye, he had entered level 6. This speed of advancement could only be described as terrifying. Moreover, when they thought of Su Chen's ability to easily kill enemies of a higher level, even a level 8 cultivator might not necessarily be a match for Su Chen. It was terrifying to think about. Su Chen was not even 20 years old this year. In the mysterious heavenly mainland, was there anyone who could be a match for him? It would not be an exaggeration to call Su Chen the strongest person in the human race, right? On the other hand, Su Chen entered Qingyun City after picking up the shards. After destroying the interrealm passage to the puppet tribe, he returned to the intelligent chariot. After that, he stayed on the island of Oblivion for a few days to destroy the interrealm passages of the other tribes. After getting some ores from Su Kun, he left the island of Oblivion. Su Chen, where are we going next? Wu Yang walked to Su Chen and asked softly. Let's go to the mysterious heavenly continent, Su Chen replied. The primordial spirit sculpting fruit tree was located in the Fengshi dynasty of the mysterious heavenly mainland. In order to prevent any accidents from happening, he had to rush over as soon as possible. Wu Yang and the others were shocked when they heard that they were going to the mysterious heavenly mainland. Su Chen once said that the mysterious heavenly continent was thousands of times bigger than the Thousand Feather Island, and the number of humans there was probably hundreds of millions. They had long wanted to go and see it for themselves. Although they were heading to the mysterious heavenly mainland, Su Chen could not help but stare at the central control screen. If they encountered any sea beasts along the way, he would still kill them. The intelligent war chariot traveled for 3 days in a row. It was a peaceful journey. On the afternoon of the 4th day, the intelligent war chariot suddenly reminded, Master, an ironclad warship is heading towards us. Su Chen didn't care at first, but when he remembered that the Wenshi dynasty's warships were made of metal, he suddenly opened his eyes and looked at the control screen. When he saw that there was indeed a blue dot heading towards them, he said, "Satoshi, zoom in on the image." The image on the central control screen changed. Soon, a huge ironclad warship appeared. From the outside, it looked exactly the same as the one that the dark-faced old man was on. Moreover, Su Chen also saw that there were more than 10 people standing on the ironclad warship. The leader was a white-haired old man who had quite a majestic aura. "Shen Mengfei, come over here and see if it's the Wenshi dynasty's warship." Su Chen called Shen Mengfei to the central control screen. Shen Mengfei took a closer look and her expression suddenly changed. She said anxiously, "Senior, it's the Wenshi dynasty's warship, and that white-haired old man is Feng Hanshua." Chapter 470. It's Feng Hanshua. Su Chen's eyes lit up. Shen Mengfei had said that the remaining primordial spirit shaper fruit was in Feng Hanshua's hands. His original purpose of going to the mysterious heavenly mainland was to get the fruit back. He did not expect to meet Feng Hanshua here. "Satoshi, chase after him. Don't let him escape," Su Chen ordered. "Yes." The intelligent war chariot locked onto the warship and sped up. An hour later, they met each other. Su Chen opened the door and walked out slowly. "Who are you? How dare you stop our warship? Are you tired of living?" On the metal ship, a bald middle-aged man shouted at Su Chen. He was just a small fry. Su Chen ignored him and turned to look at Feng Hanshua. He said coldly, "Feng Hanshua, hand over the spirit fruit." Feng Hanshua's expression froze. He looked at Su Chen and said, "You know me?" In the vast sea, he actually met someone who knew him. This was something he had never expected. Moreover, the other party dared to call him by his name. He was bold. Also, the other party asked him to hand over the spirit fruit. Could it be, Feng Hanshua seemed to have thought of something. He stared at Su Chen and said coldly, "Kid, how do you know me? Tell me the truth. Otherwise, I'll bury you here." Su Chen rubbed his nose and said indifferently, "I don't know you." "She knows you." Shen Mengfei walked out of the cabin after he finished speaking. "It's you." Feng Hanshua recognized Shen Mengfei at first glance, and his expression changed. His main purpose of going out to sea this time was to capture Shen Mengfei and snatch the primordial spirit shaper fruit from her. "Ha! I've been looking for you for a while. I didn't expect you to come to me on your own accord. I've searched high and low for you, only to find you by chance." Feng Hanshua let out a wild laugh and snorted, "Shen Mengfei, hand over all the remaining spirit fruits and I'll leave your corpse intact." Shen Mengfei imitated Su Chen's actions and laughed contemptuously, "You want to kill me in front of Senior Su? Do you have the ability?" If she was alone, even if she had 10 guts, she would not dare to speak to Feng Hanshua in such a tone. However, with Su Chen's protection, she didn't have to worry about anything. Although Feng Hanshua was strong, he was only a level 6 evolver. On the other hand, Su Chen was someone who could easily kill a level 7 puppet. What could a level 6 evolver do to him? When Su Chen heard this, he couldn't help but click his tongue. He realized that everyone who was with him would be subtly influenced and gradually become arrogant. In the past, Sherdaniu was a very good example. Shen Mengfei had only been in contact with him for a few days, but she was also so fearless, which made him a little speechless. Feng Hanshua, who was on the metal ship, was a little confused. Shen Mengfei was only a level 3 evolver. Who gave her the courage to speak to him like this? Was she crazy? Or was there something wrong with her brain? Also, who was this Senior Su she was talking about? Could it be this young man in front of him? If it was true, how laughable. How strong could a young man who wasn't even 20 years old be? He was at most a level 3 evolver, right? How dare you speak such arrogant words to mock, sir? You deserve to die. The bald man beside Feng Hanshua angrily rebuked Shen Mengfei and asked Feng Hanshua if they should immediately kill Shen Mengfei. Feng Hanshua felt that Shen Mengfei was strange, so he didn't let the bald man take action. Instead, he looked at Su Chen and said in a deep voice, "Kid, you're that senior Su. Old thing, don't call me kid every time you open your mouth. Who do you think you are?" Su Chen scolded. Chapter 471. As soon as Su Chen finished his words, the people on the metal ship looked at each other in dismay. Shen Mengfei was already arrogant enough, but they did not expect this young man to be even more arrogant. They were puzzled. Were all young people these days so hot-tempered? Were they not afraid of death? "Sir, let me teach this brat a lesson," the bald man pleaded again. Su Chen's arrogance had exceeded his tolerance limit, and he swore to teach Su Chen a lesson. Feng Hanshua nodded slightly and said coldly, "Capture him alive." As a level 6 evolved being, his dignity could not be disrespected. Su Chen's provocative words had completely enraged him. Killing Su Chen was not enough to vent his anger. He wanted to torture Su Chen bit by bit and make Su Chen regret living in this world. "Brat, this is what you get for being so arrogant." A cruel smile flashed across the bald man's face. He jumped down from the metal ship and went straight for Su Chen. Unexpectedly, just as he jumped into the air, he strangely stopped moving. Then, his whole body began to twist rapidly. Crack! With the crisp sound of bones breaking, he was squashed into a pile of meat and fell into the sea. Hiss! Witnessing this strange scene, the people on the metal ship gasped in astonishment. Everyone's faces were filled with confusion and fear. Shen Mengfei's mouth was slightly agape. She was also stunned by the strange death of the bald man. "You're a level 6 spiritual reader." Feng Hanshua reacted and stared at Su Chen with his eyes wide open. His expression was extremely complicated. It was difficult to become a spiritual reader, and reaching level 6 was even rarer. In the mysterious heavenly mainland, every level 6 spiritual reader was a formidable figure. Moreover, they were not young. The young man in front of them was probably not even 20 years old, but he had already reached a height that others could only look up to. Unimaginable. Unbelievable. How can he be so strong? Who exactly is he? After learning about Su Chen's strength, the others on the metal ship could not help but feel even more terrified. He's also a spirit reader? Shen Mengfei looked at Su Chen in a daze. Her heart was in turmoil. Compared to Feng Hanshua and the others, she knew more. Su Chen was not only a spirit reader master, but he was also an evolver and a spirit reader master. Moreover, he was an all-elemental spirit reader. He is a full-time cultivator. Shen Mengfei covered her mouth and almost screamed. Full-time cultivator, level 6 in every profession. How could there be such a genius in this world? Even though she knew that Su Chen was a full-time cultivator, Shen Mengfei still found it unbelievable. "You're slow to realize." Su Chen curled his lips and glanced at Feng Hanshua. Soon after, he released his mental energy again. After consuming the essence fruit, his spirit was slightly stronger than when he was at level 7. At this moment, the formless power formed by his spiritual energy was like a vast ocean that crushed forward. The people around Feng Hanshua were completely unable to resist and were all crushed into piles of meat paste. Although Feng Hanshua was not dead, he was pressed to the ground and could not move. Level 7 spiritual energy. Senior. Spare my life. Feng Hanshua's face was extremely pale as he begged Su Chen for mercy. Level 7, Shen Mengfei's mouth was wide open. Her body swayed slightly and she almost fell to the ground. Where is the spirit fruit? Su Chen controlled his spiritual energy and pulled Feng Hanshua to his side as he asked coldly. Chapter 472. The spirit fruit is in the pouch on me. Feng Hanshua did not hesitate at all and hurriedly replied. Su-Chen narrowed his eyes and quickly discovered that there was a pouch hanging on Feng Hanshua's waist. He took the pouch and opened it to take a look. Indeed, there were essence spirit-shaping fruits inside. Why are there only 3? Su-Chen's face darkened, and a faintly discernible murderous aura lingered around him. He had 6 in his hands. Adding these 3, it was only 9. It was not enough to split a second essence spirit. Feeling Su-Chen's murderous aura, Feng Hanshua's body trembled and he explained, "Senior, that spirit fruit should still be on that spirit plant." Su-Chen frowned slightly and turned to look at Shen Mengfei. Shen Mengfei nodded slightly. "Senior, that spirit fruit was not ripe at that time. It should still be on the spirit plant." After learning the whereabouts of the last essence spirit-shaping fruit, Su-Chen raised his hand and smashed Feng Hanshua's head. Then, he asked Shen Mengfei, "How did you get the spirit fruit?" Previously, when he learned about the essence spirit-shaping fruit, he was too excited and did not think about some things carefully. "I came across it by chance when I was picking spiritual materials at Qixia Mountain. At that time, I felt that it was quite extraordinary, so I brought it down the mountain," Shen Mengfei explained. This explanation was barely acceptable. Su-Chen did not delve into this point and continued to ask, "How did that spirit plant end up in Wu Yazi's hands?" "Wu Yazi is a master refiner. I used that spirit plant to exchange for a spirit treasure with him, which was the small wooden boat from before," Shen Mengfei replied. Every time she recalled that the small wooden boat was destroyed by Su-Chen, her heart ached. "From the looks of it, that Wu Yazi is not bad," Su-Chen muttered. Wu Yazi used the method of exchange to obtain the essence spirit-shaping fruit tree and did not bully the weak by snatching it. From this point, one could see that his character was rather good. In the post-apocalyptic world, it was rare to find someone with such character. Su-Chen was determined to obtain the primordial spirit-shaping fruit tree. Originally, he planned to use the method of snatching it, but after learning of Wu Yazi's character, he changed his mind. He had a lot of good things on him. At worst, he would just have to spend some to exchange for them. How did the people of the Wenxi dynasty know the whereabouts of the spirit fruit and chase after you? This was something that Su-Chen couldn't figure out. Logically speaking, with Shen Mengfei's intelligence, she would not give herself away. Because I needed cultivation resources, I exchanged for 3 spirit fruits. Later, the people of the Wenxi dynasty followed the clues and found them. Shen Mengfei explained. Oh. Su-Chen suddenly understood. After figuring out the ins and outs of the matter, he returned to the cabin. Shen Mengfei followed him in. After that, the intelligent war chariot continued to sail towards the mysterious heavenly mainland. Su-Chen had nothing to do, so he reclined in the driver's seat and closed his eyes to rest. After sailing for about 2 hours, the intelligent war chariot suddenly reminded him, "Master, we found traces of a large number of foreign creatures and sea beasts." "How many are there?" Su-Chen's heart skipped a beat and he asked. "A total of 1,200, the intelligent war chariot replied. Although the number of 1,000 was not much, it was still worth it. Su-Chen narrowed his eyes and looked at the central control screen. Sure enough, he saw a group of red and black dots mixed together and rushing in one direction. In addition, he also found something very interesting. The 2 foreign creatures in front seemed to be running away, and the foreign creatures and sea beasts behind them were chasing after them. "Satoshi, zoom in on the image," Su-Chen whispered. Chapter 473. The image on the screen changed, and the first thing that appeared was the figures of the 2 mutated creatures. Mermaids? Seeing the other party's appearance, Su-Chen let out a soft exclamation. The 2 mutated creatures, one male and one female, were both in the form of a human body and a mermaid tail. They looked the same as the mermaids in the movies in his previous life. Moreover, they were very good-looking. The man was extraordinarily handsome, and the woman was like a lotus flower. As for the mutated creatures chasing after them, they were also in the form of mermaids and should belong to the same race. "Satoshi, what are their cultivation levels?" Su Chen retracted his gaze and asked. The strongest is a level 4 evolver. As for the two escaping in front, the man is a level 3 evolver, and the woman is a level 3 spirit reader. The intelligent war chariot replied. Su Chen nodded slightly. Chase after them. There were more than 1,000 of them. If they were all killed, there would be a lot of fragments. He would not miss this opportunity. Yes. The intelligent war chariot moved at full speed and chased after them. Although the speed of the mutated mermaids was very fast, it could not be compared to the intelligent war chariot. After 10 minutes, the distance between the two parties was less than 10 kilometers. But at this time, the intelligent war chariot spoke again. Master, I feel the existence of a water spirit stone. Water spirit stone? What's the use of it? Su Chen's expression changed. The intelligent war chariot had the ability to sense special ores, and the ores that it mentioned all had very obvious effects. Some could increase defense, some could increase speed, and some could increase detection range. He was also looking forward to the water spirit stone. The intelligent war chariot explained, I installed the water spirit stone and can activate the invisibility function for 10 seconds. But with only one piece, it can't be activated. Invisibility was a very impressive function. Even if it was only for 10 seconds, it was definitely not to be underestimated. At the crucial moment, it could be used to surprise or save one's life. Satoshi, quickly chase after them. Su Chen was a little excited. Originally, he had planned to kill these mutated creatures and sea monsters. Now that he knew there was a water spirit stone, he would not let it go. A few minutes later, the intelligent war chariot blocked the path of this group of aliens. Satoshi, who has the water spirit stone? Su Chen asked. It's hanging around the neck of the woman in front. Su Chen walked out alone after knowing who had it. Seeing that someone was blocking their path, the two foreign mermaids who were fleeing in front hurriedly attacked Su Chen. The man raised his hand and shot out a flying fork, while the woman released a wave of spiritual power that swept forward. Su Chen curled his lips. With a casual wave of his hand, a majestic force surged forth. There was a loud bang. The flying fork was directly blasted apart, and the spiritual power was also swept away. What powerful strength! The two foreign mermaids were in a state of panic, and their hearts trembled. Both of them were level 3 cultivators. Even though they had attacked at the same time, the young man in front of them had easily dealt with their attacks. From this, it could be seen that the young man in front of him was at least a level 5 evolver. This was because a level 4 evolver would definitely not be able to deal with such an understatement. Senior, why are you blocking our path? The man looked a little angry, but he was still forcefully suppressing it. Su Chen glanced at him, then turned his gaze to the mermaid. Immediately after, he released his spiritual power, circled around her neck, and pulled back a necklace that was hanging on it. Spiritual reader. The mermaid was inexplicably shocked. As a spiritual reader, she could naturally feel the spiritual power released by Su Chen. Moreover, she could clearly sense that Su Chen's spiritual power was abnormally strong. It was several levels higher than hers. Chapter 474. But at this moment, the foreign clansmen and sea beasts that were chasing after them had already arrived in front of them and surrounded Su Chen and the two mermaids. Human, you've done me a great favor. To thank you, I'll leave your corpse intact. A yellow-haired merman stepped out from the crowd. After glancing at Su Chen, he sneered cruelly. He didn't know why Su Chen would appear here, nor did he know what Su Chen's cultivation was like. However, Su Chen looked too young, so he didn't take him seriously at all. The foreign races and humans were like fire and water. Since they had bumped into each other, they naturally had to kill each other along the way. Su Chen's mouth flashed a touch of contempt as he raised his hand and punched out. In an instant, hundreds of fist shadows whizzed out and smashed toward the yellow-haired merman with an earth-shattering force. Ah! Accompanied by a shrill scream, the yellow-haired merman and the hundreds of mermaids around him were smashed into meat paste. The sea beasts that followed them saw that the situation was not good and fled together. Su Chen casually shot out a violent thunder technique and killed them all. Seeing this scene, the merman and merman who were lucky enough to survive were dumbfounded and trembling all over. Su Chen's strength was simply to the point that it made one's hair stand on end. He killed more than 1,000 mermaids and sea beasts with a raise of his hand. His strength was too terrifying, and it was something they had never seen before. After recognizing Su Chen's strength, the two of them felt uneasy. After all, they were intercepted by Su Chen. What was Su Chen's goal? Which race are you two from? Su Chen glanced at them and asked in a low voice. Senior, we are from the mermaid race. The merman lowered his head and replied with a bow, as if he was very afraid of Su Chen. The mermaid race, Su Chen pondered and asked calmly, where did you come from? Since they were aliens, they must have come here through the realm passage. That meant that there were still a lot of people from the mermaid clan. If they were not far away, they could go over and harvest a batch. We escaped from the savage island, the merman answered honestly. Su Chen's mind turned slightly. He had seen Savage Island on the central control screen. It was only 1,000 miles away from here. With the speed of the intelligent war chariot, they would arrive in about 2 hours. You belong to the same clan, so why are they chasing after you? Su Chen continued to ask. Hearing this, the merman seemed to be in a difficult position. He gritted his teeth and didn't say anything. Instead, the mermaid said, Senior, it's all because of me. She sighed and explained, Jin Su of the Protoss took a fancy to me because of my talent as a spirit reader master. But I didn't want to marry him, so I escaped from Savage Island. Hearing this, Su Chen already understood what was going on. The merman and woman in front of him should be an eloping couple. So, the Protoss also exist on Savage Island? Su Chen narrowed his eyes and asked. As one of the 5 super races, the Protoss mainly cultivated their spirit power. It was inevitable that they attracted his attention. Yes, Senior. Jin Su and a few other Protoss should be on Savage Island at this moment, the mermaid replied. Su Chen nodded, waved the necklace in his hand, and asked, where did the water spirit stone on this come from? A piece of water spirit stone couldn't help the intelligent war chariot activate the invisibility function. He had to know the source of the water spirit stone. This is a mineral unique to Savage Island, but there aren't many of them. The mermaid glanced at the water spirit stone and replied. Chapter 475. How many? Do you have 10 pieces? Su Chen asked. The minimum requirement to activate the invisibility function of the intelligent war chariot was 10 pieces. I have more than 20 pieces, the mermaid replied after thinking for a while. Su Chen heaved a sigh of relief. 20 pieces was not a lot, but it was enough for the intelligent war chariot. After a while, he began to pick up the pieces. Wu Yang and the others also walked out of the cabin to collect the corpses of the sea monsters and the energy stones. Since Su Chen did not say anything, the mermaid couple did not dare to act rashly. They stood there in a daze. Half an hour later, Su Chen finished picking up the pieces and was about to head to the Savage Island. The intelligent war chariot suddenly warned, Master, there are aliens approaching. There are 3 of them. The mermaid clan is here? Su Chen raised his eyebrows and simply waited there. A few minutes later, a wooden boat sped over. 3 men stood at the bow of the boat. The one in the middle was a young man with a dignified appearance and an arrogant expression. On his left was an old man with a head full of silver hair. On his right was a burly man in golden armor. Elder Mu and Jin Su are here. When the small wooden boat approached them, the expression of the merman and mermaid changed abruptly. Who is Jin Su? Su Chen asked in a low voice. Senior, the young man in the middle is Jin Su. The old man is Elder Mu Xian of the mermaid clan. The burly man is a level 5 Protoss who is responsible for protecting Jin Su. The mermaid man introduced them one by one. Hearing this, Su Chen was slightly moved. A level 5 Protoss was a powerful figure no matter where he went. He did not expect him to be Jin Su's guard. It was obvious that Jin Su's position in the Protoss was not ordinary. Tianhe, Xuanji, you two don't know what's good for you. Get over here. Mu Xian, who was on the boat, glanced at the mermaid couple and scolded coldly. As for Su Chen and the others, he completely ignored them. Elder Mu, why are you forcing me? I will not marry Jin Su even if I die. The mermaid Xuanji replied with gritted teeth. Bastard. Young Master Jin was the son of the Imperial God King. How noble was his status. For him to take a liking to you is your great fortune. What's there to be unwilling about? Mu Xian's eyes widened as he roared, looking very angry. Due to Jin Su's special identity, if this matter was not handled properly, it was likely that he would offend the god race. Then the mermaid clan would be in a very dangerous situation. Elder Mu, no matter what you say, I only have Tianhe in my heart. I will never marry Jin Su. Xuanji refused to back down. The merman, Tianhe, looked at Xuanji deeply and stood in front of Xuanji to shield her. He knew very well that once Xuanji refused, they would all be killed. Even if he had to die, he would die in front of Xuanji. Jin Su didn't say anything, but his face was as gloomy as water. His eyes were filled with intense killing intent. Xuanji's rejection made him feel extremely humiliated. For a Protoss genius with a lofty status and outstanding talent like him, this was absolutely intolerable. All of a sudden, his brows furrowed, and he released a wave of mind energy, which charged toward the heavenly river. Tianhe also felt the mental strength attack, but Jin Su was a level 5 telekinesis master. He was definitely not someone a level 3 evolver like him could withstand. Just as he was about to die, he was surprised to find that another wave of mental strength surrounded his body, completely blocking Jin Su's mental strength. You want to kill him? Did you ask for my permission? At this moment, Su Chen laughed coldly. Chapter 476. You're a telekinesis master too? Jin Su was shocked. He stared at Su Chen with wide eyes. Su Chen's telekinesis master level could not be lower than his if he could break his telekinesis without making a sound. However, what he could not understand was that Su Chen was only a human and very young. How could his telekinesis be on par with a Protoss prodigy like him? Boy, I didn't expect you to be a telekinesis master too. I underestimated you. Mu Xian glanced at Su Chen and his face gradually darkened. Previously, when he saw that Su Chen and the others were all humans, he did not take it to heart. Now that he knew that Su Chen was a telekinesis master, he suspected that Su Chen had killed the dead people around him. Therefore, he hated Su Chen. As for what level Su Chen was a telekinesis master, Mu Xian did not care. This was because Jin Su was a Protoss prodigy and a powerful level 5 telekinesis master. Su Chen was only a human. No matter how strong he was, how could he be stronger than Jin Su? Who do you think you are? You're just a lackey of the Protoss. Do I need you to look up to me? Su Chen sneered with disdain. Hearing this, Jin Su and the others were stunned. Mu Xian was not only an elder of the Merfolk tribe, but he was also a level 5 evolver. Yet, he was looked down upon and mocked by a young human. This young man in front of him was too arrogant, wasn't he? Boy, you'll have to pay for your words. Mu Xian's face was ferocious. He was on the verge of exploding in anger. With a roar, he charged toward Su Chen. Jin Zhe did not stop him. He also wanted to use Mu Xian to gauge Su Chen's strength. Su Chen pursed his lips. As Mu Xian charged towards him, he raised his hand and shot out a fist-sized fireball. Although the fireball was small, it contained a fire-type mana wave that was unusually violent. It was like a volcano that was about to erupt. The scorching temperature made people feel as if they had entered a pool of magma. Level 6 Fireball Spell. Senior, I was wrong. Mu Xian recognized the level of the fireball and was scared out of his wits. He loudly begged for mercy. Since Su Chen had made a move, he had no intention of letting him live. In the blink of an eye, the fireball collided with Mu Xian, and a loud boom was heard. Mu Xian was blasted into nothingness, not even his bones remained. Level 6 Fire Mage. Jin Su's eyes widened. His body trembled uncontrollably as if he was scared silly. He couldn't figure it out. Su Chen was clearly a powerful telekinesis master. How did he become a level 6 telekinesis master in the blink of an eye? Could it be that he had two professions? Thinking of this, the fear in his heart reached its peak. The burly man in golden armor beside him had an extremely ugly expression. He seemed to be struggling for a while before he gritted his teeth and said, "Young master, I'll stop him. You leave quickly." He knew very well that he and Jin Su were absolutely no match for Su Chen. In this case, he could only choose to sacrifice himself to protect Jin Su. Kill. The burly man in golden armor summoned his courage and rushed toward Su Chen. You overestimate yourself. Su Chen snorted and ran the heavenly hundredfold vigor technique, throwing a punch. The burly man in golden armor didn't expect Su Chen to dare to fight him head-on. He was delighted and punched without hesitation. The next moment, the two fists collided violently. Bang! A loud explosion was heard. The burly man in golden armor and his armor were blasted into dust. Seeing this scene, Tianhe and Xuanji were so shocked that even their breathing stopped. The burly man in golden armor was a level 5 evolver. The armor he wore was also extraordinary. It could withstand attacks that were one level higher than his own. Even so, he was still blasted into nothingness by Su Chen's punch. From this, it could be seen how powerful Su Chen's punch was. Chapter 477. Jin Su, who had wanted to escape, was scared out of his wits by Su Chen's punch. His body went limp, and he collapsed to the ground. Su Chen narrowed his eyes. Just as he was about to kill Jin Su, a bright golden light appeared on Jin Su's body. At the same time, a powerful energy ripple revolved around Jin Su, forming a defensive barrier that enveloped him. Haha! When the golden light appeared, Jin Su stood up slowly. After a wild laugh, he regained his arrogant and condescending attitude. With the golden body shield that my father gave me, you can stop dreaming if you want to kill me, human. Jin Su stared at Su Chen and taunted him. The golden body shield could be considered as something derived from a defensive formation. When it sensed danger, it would automatically activate. Its defensive power was not to be underestimated. It could withstand a fatal blow from a level 7 cultivator. Previously, Jin Su had forgotten about this trump card due to his excessive fear. Now that he had the golden body shield, he was full of confidence. He was not afraid of Su Chen's threat at all. Do you think that I can't do anything to you with a turtle shell? Su Chen rubbed his nose and sneered. The attacks that he had shown so far were only the tip of the iceberg. His strongest trump cards, the chaotic skysplitter sword and the integrated 5 extremes mountain, had not been used yet. The former had the power to tear apart space, while the latter had the 5 elements magic power and 108,000 pounds of weight. No matter which one he used, it would be easy for him to destroy a protective shield. Therefore, Jin Su's fearlessness was laughable in Su Chen's eyes. You're just a level 6 cultivator. So what if you're stronger than your peers? My golden body shield can withstand a level 7 cultivator's attack. What can you do to me? Jin Su laughed disdainfully. You're just a frog in a well. Su Chen pursed his lips. With a flash of light, a pitch-black sword appeared in his hand. Then, he held the sword with both hands and slashed at Jin Su. After a series of spatial distortions, a black vortex that was around 10 feet in size emerged. What kind of attack is that? Feeling the terrifying tearing force from the vortex, Jin Su's expression changed drastically. He shouted, "Senior, my father is a level 9 telekinesis master. You can't kill me." Seeing the black vortex drifting towards him, Jin Su smelled the scent of death and lost confidence in his golden body barrier. In order to survive, he could only use his father's name and his strength to make Su Chen wary. Unfortunately, he did not understand Su Chen. Once Su Chen's killing intent was ignited, it would absolutely not stop. Not to mention a level 9 spirit reader master, even if it was a level 10 spirit reader master supporting Jin Su, Su Chen would still kill him without hesitation. You can die in peace. I, your father, will kill you sooner or later. Su Chen's lips curled into a cruel smile. He held the chaos sky-splitting sword with both hands and pointed at it from afar. The black vortex floating in the air seemed to have received an order. With just a rotation, it enveloped Jin Su. Ah! Jin Su let out a heart-wrenching scream. His entire body, including the golden body barrier outside his body, was torn apart like paper and turned into nothingness in the blink of an eye. The moment Jin Su died, in a magnificent hall on the Protoss continent, a dignified middle-aged man's expression suddenly changed. He roared, "Who dares to kill my son, Jin Yonan? I'll crush your bones and scatter your ashes." Chapter 478. Su Chen put away the Chaos Skysplitter sword and glanced at it. His lips curled up slightly. He saw a bunch of shiny shards. Although he had only managed to kill 3 of the mutated race members, he had obtained 130 fragments from them. The one who contributed the most was Jin Su. Killing him alone gave him a total of 100 shards. Then, Su Chen began to pick up the shards. Tianhe and Xuanji looked at each other and could see the shock in each other's eyes. Not only were they shocked by Su Chen's power, but they were also shocked by Su Chen's audacity. Jin Su was not only a genius of the Protoss, he was also the Imperial God King's favorite son. As a level 9 telekinesis master, the Imperial God King held a high position in the Protoss. His son's death was a huge blow. Once the Protoss found out the cause of Jin Su's death, they would definitely seek revenge on Su Chen. As one of the 5 super tribes, the Protoss were extremely powerful. By then, would Su Chen still have a way out? He's still too young. Tianhe sighed. Although Su Chen was powerful, could he be more powerful than an entire tribe? As if he could foresee Su Chen's fate in the future, Tianhe did not feel good about it. After all, Su Chen had saved his life, and he really wanted to help Su Chen. But in front of the Protoss, he was not even an ant. What could he do to help? After picking up the shards, Su Chen called everyone back to the cabin. Before he left, he glanced at Tianhe and Xuanji casually. He did not say anything, nor did he kill them. Although Tianhe and Xuanji were mutated tribesmen, not all mutated tribesmen were evil. Just like the dwarf tribe on the island of nothingness, they could live peacefully with humans. Su Chen would not kill these mutated tribesmen. Moreover, he had obtained the water spirit stone from Xuanji. He had also learned the whereabouts of the other water spirit stones from Xuanji, so she had done him a favor. Su Chen wouldn't do anything to them. Satoshi, lock onto Savage Island and sail at full speed, Su Chen ordered as soon as he returned to the cabin. Yes. The intelligent war chariot drove at full speed toward the Savage Island. After the intelligent war chariot disappeared from sight, Sky River and Xuanji looked at each other and quickly left. 2 hours later, the intelligent war chariot arrived at Savage Island. Su Chen observed through the central control screen that there were less than 1,000 mermaids on Savage Island, and they were all gathered in a valley. Although the Barbarian Island was not a large island, it was still about 1/5 the size of Thousand Feather Island. He had never thought that the number of mermaids would be so small, which somewhat disappointed him. However, his main purpose for coming here was for the water spirit stones, so he could accept the small number of mermaids. After locking onto the location of the valley, the intelligent war chariot quickly drove over. An hour later, they appeared in the valley. Su Chen led a group of people out of the chariot, completely disregarding the thousands of mermaids here. On the way, he had already learned that the strongest mermaid here was a level 4 evolver, and there was only one of them. The rest were mostly cultivators below level 3. Wu Yang and Yang Lingtian could defeat them if they joined forces. The appearance of the intelligent war chariot naturally attracted the attention of the mermaids. They gathered and surrounded the intelligent war chariot. Chapter 479. Humans, you've got guts. How dare you trespass on our territory? What's your motive for coming here? An old lady holding a scepter walked out from the crowd. She glanced at Su Chen and the rest and questioned them coldly. I'm here to look for the water spirit stone. Su Chen waved the necklace in his hand and said calmly. The old lady sized it up and her expression suddenly changed. She asked anxiously, where did you get this necklace from? She had already recognized the necklace. It was the necklace that Xuanji wore around her neck. After Xuanji escaped from the savage island, all the powerful figures in the tribe had gone out to capture her, but they had not been able to do so. Since this human had Xuanji's necklace, he must know where she was. If they could track Xuanji down and capture her, it would definitely be a great achievement. At this thought, the old lady was a little agitated. Do I need to report to you where I got it from? Su Chen laughed disdainfully. Hearing this, the old lady's expression darkened. She sized up Su Chen again and snorted coldly. Human, how dare you speak to me in such a tone? Aren't you afraid of death? This old lady from a different tribe is a little arrogant. The people from a different tribe are all like this. They think too highly of themselves. You'll get used to it. She'll cry later. Yang Hao and the rest started discussing loudly, completely ignoring the old lady's murderous gaze. Arrogant. A mere human dares to humiliate the mermaid tribe. You're asking for death. One of the mermaids could not take it anymore and roared at Yang Hao and the rest. The rest of the mermaids could not suppress their anger either. They all took out their weapons and waited for the old lady's command to tear this group of humans into pieces. Su Chen did not want to waste any more time and shot a look at Wu Yang. Leader Wu, let's do it. Wu Yang and the rest had not fought for a long time ever since they entered the sea. It was time for them to get some exercise. Kill. Yang Hao and the other two couldn't hold it in any longer. They charged forward madly. Wu Yang and Yang Lingtian looked at each other and followed closely behind. Yang Qian and the other two, including Shenmeng Fei, also attacked together. The old mermaid waved the wooden staff in her hand and gave the order, kill. All of a sudden, the entire valley was filled with the sounds of battle. Puchi, Puchi, accompanied by the sounds of blades piercing into flesh, more than 10 mermaids were killed in an instant. Although Wu Yang and the others were few in number, each and every one of them was a powerful warrior who had been through hundreds of battles. They charged into the crowd of mermaids like wolves in a flock of sheep, slaughtering wantonly. Seeing this, the old mermaid's heart trembled. Just as she was about to attack, she discovered that her entire body was entangled by an invisible force, and she was unable to move at all. What level of spiritual power is this? The old mermaid woman had never encountered such a terrifying mind power. She felt that it was even stronger than Jin Su's mind power. Could it be level 7 spiritual power? This thought appeared in the old mermaid woman's mind, and her heart sank to the bottom. He was only a level 4 evolver, and in front of a level 7 spiritual power master, he was like an ant that could be easily crushed. Tell me the whereabouts of the water spirit stone, and I will give you a quick death. Su Chen used his mind power to pull the old mermaid woman in front of him and said coldly. You are a level 7 spiritual power master. The old mermaid woman opened her mouth, and her face was a mixture of disbelief and fear. In her eyes, Su Chen was so young and was a human. How could his mind power be so strong? It did not make sense. Chapter 480. Seeing that the old mermaid did not take his words seriously and was still surprised, Su Chen huffed and used his spiritual energy to squeeze her. Ah! The old mermaid shrieked and reacted at this moment. She shouted, "Senior, the water spiritual stones are in the pouch on my waist. Please spare me." Su Chen quickly took the pouch and checked it. When he confirmed that there were water spiritual stones and that there were exactly 20 of them, he killed the old mermaid without hesitation. Then, he began to pick up the fragments. As for the other mermaids, Wu Yang and the rest were enough to kill them all. Half an hour later, Su Chen was done picking up the fragments. His face was brimming with smiles. There were not many fragments this time, but there was a purplish gold fragment. As a result, the total number of energy points exceeded the 10,000 mark and reached 10,900 points. For example, the 10,000 Lights 10 Shadows Fighting Technique, the 5 Elements Thunder Purgatory Formation, the Atlas Shape-Shifting Technique, the Illusionary Blazing Feather Divine Dragon, and so on. Back in the car, Su Chen immediately installed 10 water spiritual stones on the intelligent war chariot. When the water spiritual stones disappeared into the grooves, the intelligent war chariot successfully activated its invisibility function. Satoshi, continue to sail towards the mysterious heavenly mainland. Su Chen ordered and sat in the driver's seat to activate the Doomsday Mall. Since his energy points had exceeded 10,000, it would be a waste to keep them. Naturally, he had to exchange for something. However, there were still 4 items that could be exchanged for 10,000 energy points. Su Chen hesitated for a while and finally decided to exchange for the Atlas Polymorph. As for why he made such a choice, it was because of his intuition. He vaguely felt that the Atlas Polymorph would help him more and more. The moment the Atlas Polymorph was successfully exchanged, Su Chen received a reply. The Atlas Polymorph was a very special secret skill. After casting it, one's body would expand to about 30 meters. Not only would one have immense strength and be indestructible, but one's attributes would also increase by 1 level. In other words, Su Chen was now at level 6. After the upgrade, all 3 professions would be at level 7. As expected of something that can be exchanged for 10,000 energy points. Awesome! After reading the feedback, Su Chen sighed from the bottom of his heart. So far, he had exchanged 4 items worth 10,000 energy points. They were the Ancient God-Fiend Body, Heavenly Strength Technique, Chaotic Sky-Splitting Sword, and Time Accelerator. The Ancient God-Fiend Body was invincible among those of the same level. It was immune to all poisons and evils. The Tong Tian 100-fold Strength Technique could increase one's strength by 100 times. When it came to strength, no matter who it was, no matter what race it was, they were all nothing in front of him. The Primal Chaos Sky-Splitting Sword had the power to tear apart space. It was as easy as pinching an ant to kill someone at the same level as him. It was not difficult to kill someone 1 level higher than him. Although the Time Accelerator was an auxiliary item, the fact that it could speed up the flow of time was no small matter. The reason why the Essence Fruit Tree could bear fruit so quickly was mainly because of the Time Accelerator. It could be said that the items exchanged with universal energy points had never disappointed Su Chen. As for the Atlas Polymorph, he even felt that it was a little more powerful than the other 4 items. With his ability to easily kill enemies of a higher level, after using the Atlas Polymorph, he was confident that he could kill a level 8 cultivator. There was no doubt that Su Chen had another powerful trump card. At the same time, his strength had increased by a lot. Chapter 481. After obtaining the Atlas Polymorph skill, Su Chen was about to close his eyes and rest for a while. Suddenly, an alarm sounded on the central control screen. Warning, a level 6 alien creature has been spotted 100 miles ahead. The intelligent war chariot had not sounded an alarm for a long time. This time, it meant that the level 6 alien creature was a threat. Satoshi, is this level 6 creature coming for us? Su Chen asked. His main goal was to get to the mysterious heavenly continent as soon as possible. If this level 6 creature did not come for him, he would not waste his time hunting it. Master, it seems to be coming for us, the intelligent war chariot reminded him. Su Chen raised his eyebrows and looked at the central control screen. Indeed, he saw a black dot flying toward them. Its speed was even faster than the intelligent war chariot. Interesting, Su Chen muttered. A mere level 6 foreign race creature was nothing in his eyes. However, what made him feel a little strange was how the other party was able to discover him even though they were hundreds of miles apart. Could it be that it had the same sensing ability as the intelligent war chariot? 10 minutes later, an unusually large sea monster appeared in front of the intelligent war chariot. It was more than twice the size of the heavenly overlord turtle. Moreover, its appearance was very strange. There was a long and narrow mouth on its huge head, and its eyes were as small as gravel. If one did not look carefully, they would not be able to see it at all. Humans, surrender, or I'll swallow you all. As soon as the sea monster appeared, it released a huge amount of pressure in an attempt to intimidate Su Chen. Su Chen walked out of the cabin alone and glanced at the sea monster. He was puzzled. Do you know me? Judging from the other party's tone, it seemed to be coming for him. However, this was the first time he met this sea monster. They had nothing to do with each other. Why did it want to capture him? Hee, the sea monster grinned and laughed sinisterly. I don't know you, but I know you must be the one who killed Jin Su of the Protoss. I see. Su Chen was enlightened. As one of the 5 great super races, the divine race was bound to have many subsidiary factions. He didn't know which race this sea monster belonged to, but it was definitely under the control of the god race. After figuring out the other party's purpose, Su Chen smiled and said, Since you know that I killed Jin Su, you still have the guts to chase after me? Aren't you afraid of death? Of course I can't do anything to you, but I didn't come alone. The sea demon beast opened its big mouth and drew a strange arc in the air. As soon as he finished speaking, he saw a middle-aged man in purple flying over from afar. He was actually walking on the waves. Moreover, his speed was as fast as lightning. In just a few breaths, he had arrived in front of them. So fast. Su Chen raised his eyebrows. Generally speaking, the faster one's speed was, the stronger one's strength was. The purple-clothed man's speed was the fastest he had ever seen, which undoubtedly proved his strength. As for whether it was level 7 or 8, Su Chen couldn't be sure for the time being. Master, he's a level 8 evolver, the intelligent war chariot reminded him. When they learned that the man was a level 8 evolver, the expressions of everyone in the chariot changed. Although Su Chen was very strong, he was only level 6 after all. Could he be a match for someone 2 levels higher than him? Everyone couldn't help but start to worry. Chapter 482. Are you the human who killed Jin Su? The man in purple looked at Su Chen with interest and was not in a hurry to make a move. As a level 8 evolver, he had absolute confidence in himself. No matter how powerful Su Chen was, it was impossible for him to escape from him. Jin Su died in my hands. Su Chen did not hide it. After admitting it openly, he asked, Which race are you from? The man in purple looked no different from a human in appearance, but since he had colluded with the Protoss, the possibility of him being a human was very small. You are not qualified to know which race I am from. The man in purple smiled contemptuously. Su Chen was slightly stunned. This kind of tone, this kind of intonation, he often said. He did not expect the other party to say the same thing to him. Su Chen rubbed his nose and sneered, If you don't say it, I will beat you until you do. A level 8 evolver was indeed a deterrent to him in the past. But it was different now. He had just exchanged for the sky-raising wood transformation technique, and his cultivation could be raised to level 7 in an instant. A mere level 8 evolver was no longer a concern. As soon as Su Chen finished speaking, the man in purple's expression froze. When did humans become so arrogant? A level 6 dared to threaten a level 8? Did he think he could be arrogant after killing Jin So? Wu Yang and the others in the intelligent chariot swallowed at the same time. Su Chen was still the same Su Chen. He was still as domineering as ever. Even in the face of a powerhouse 2 levels higher than himself, he was still calm and not afraid at all. The realm of a powerful person was indeed extraordinary. Shen Mengfei was a little dumbfounded. Su Chen's strength was vivid in her mind these days. He was invincible in the same level, and killing enemies above his level was as easy as pie. But the man in purple in front of her was level 8, 2 levels higher than Su Chen. No matter how strong Su Chen was, he could not be a match for a level 8 evolver, right? Then why was he so fearless? He even threatened to beat the other party until he spoke. Arrogant. The sea beast gritted its teeth and roared at Su Chen. Then, it looked at the purple-robed man and said respectfully, "Master, this human is too arrogant. Please take him down." The purple-robed man glanced coldly at Su Chen and snorted lightly. "You think you can defeat me, you ant? Let's see what you're made of." With that, he raised his hand and grabbed at Su Chen from afar. All of a sudden, a giant claw the size of a small mountain appeared and covered Su Chen's head. It was the first time that Su Chen had encountered such an attack. His expression became serious. Suddenly, a bright golden light appeared on his palm. Then, he threw a punch without flinching. Amidst the whistling, 100 golden fist shadows smashed towards the giant claw. Bang, 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 amidst the earth-shattering collision, the giant claw and the golden fist were destroyed at the same time. The purple-clothed man and Su Chen exchanged blows for the first time, and they were actually evenly matched, fighting to a draw. Seeing this, Su Chen was a little moved. The Pegasus Meteor Fist had always been successful against enemies. Even if it was against opponents 2 levels higher, it would still have a certain degree of lethality. He never thought that the purple-clothed man would be able to resolve it so easily. From this, it could be seen that the purple-clothed man was an extremely powerful existence even among level 8. He was definitely not someone that an ordinary level 8 could compare to. At the same time, the purple-clothed man was even more shocked. His claw just now was not a casual claw. He had used some kind of secret technique, and it was extremely powerful. Even so, it still could not do anything to Su Chen. When did such a monster appear among the human race? The purple-clothed man shouted in his heart. One must know that Su Chen was only level 6, 2 levels lower than him. Yet, he dared to fight him head-on and was not at a disadvantage at all. It could be imagined that if Su Chen was also level 8, he would definitely not be a match for him. Perhaps he would be crushed in a single blow. Chapter 483. No wonder you dare to be so arrogant. You do have some skills. The man in purple took a deep breath and calmed down. In his view, Su Chen must have used his trump card to fight to a draw with him. Trump cards were used to save one's life. Since Su Chen had used his trump card, he must have run out of tricks later. He could use his advantage in level to completely crush Su Chen. I've never killed a level 8 cultivator. Today, I'll start with you. A sneer flashed across Su Chen's mouth, and his eyes narrowed. It was his first time encountering such a powerful opponent like the man in purple, which aroused his fighting spirit. Shameless boasting. Today, I'll make you despair. The man in purple snorted coldly and punched Su Chen from afar. Whoosh whoosh, a strong gust of wind blew. Suddenly, a fist the size of 10 feet appeared in the sky and smashed down at Su Chen. Crack, but at this moment, Su Chen's entire body emitted a crisp sound of bones cracking. Then, his body grew rapidly. In the blink of an eye, he became 10 feet tall, like a giant. Chingu can transform? Yang Hao's mouth was agape as he stared dumbfounded. The others were also shocked and looked at Su Chen. He still has a trump card. The face of the purple-clothed man became uncertain. Su Chen's sudden transformation caught him off guard, and he also smelled a trace of danger. The sea monsters on the side trembled when they felt the powerful pressure from Su Chen's body. Their hearts palpitated. After using the Atlas shape-shifting skill, Su Chen's attributes increased by 1 level and he became a level 7 cultivator. Just as the giant fist was close to him, he reached out his hand and grabbed it. He easily caught the giant fist in his hand and squeezed it gently. Boom! A loud explosion was heard. The giant fist instantly turned into fine powder. The moment the giant fist was crushed, the purple-clothed man seemed to have suffered a backlash, and his face became abnormally pale. Su Chen didn't give him time to react. He released his spiritual force and swept forward. After suppressing the purple-clothed man, he suddenly stepped forward, causing the sea to set off huge waves. As he approached, Su Chen clenched a huge golden fist and smashed it down. The purple-clothed man was inexplicably terrified as he struggled with all his might. However, Su Chen's spiritual power was already 1 level higher than his own. Coupled with the enhancement from Atlas Polymorph, the strength of his spiritual power had already exceeded level 8. How could the purple-clothed man break free so easily? No! The purple-clothed man let out a desperate roar as his entire body was smashed into pieces by Su Chen's punch. He died on the spot. At the place where he died, there were about 500 to 600 pieces of shards that flickered with light. Seeing this, Su Chen's lips curled up slightly. Qinggu is still as awesome as ever. Yang Hao and the others were excited. Too strong, Shen Mingfei, who was next to him, swallowed hard. Her face was full of shock. At first, he thought that Su Chen was doomed this time. He never thought that after Su Chen transformed, he was so powerful that it was unimaginable. He killed a level 8 evolver with 1 punch. It was unbelievable. Master is dead. The sea monster was stunned for a moment. When it confirmed that the purple-clothed man was indeed smashed into nothing, a deep layer of fear surged from the bottom of its heart. No, I have to leave this place immediately. With this thought flashing through its mind, the sea monster planned to escape. But at this moment, a cold snort pierced its ears. If you dare to move, I'll skin you alive. Chapter 484. Hearing this, the sea demon beast shuddered and stopped where it was. It didn't even dare to move. It had witnessed Su Chen's strength with its own eyes. He could even kill a level 8 evolver. Wouldn't killing a level 6 sea demon beast be as easy as killing an ant? It knew very well that if it wanted to live, it had to listen to Su Chen's words. Su Chen put away Atlas Polymorph, and narrowed his eyes at the sea demon beast. He said coldly, "Which clan is that man in purple from?" "Senior, he's from the Qingshi clan," the sea demon beast replied respectfully. "Where's the realm passage from the Qingshi clan to here?" Su Chen asked calmly. The man in purple was abnormally strong. This proved that the Qingshi clan was not an ordinary clan. He planned to find the realm passage and destroy it. "The Qingshi clan doesn't have a realm passage that leads here," the sea demon beast replied truthfully. Su Chen raised his eyebrows. Without a realm passage, how did the other party get here? Without waiting for Su Chen to ask, the sea demon beast explained, "We came in through the realm passage of the sea race." Sea race? Su Chen pondered for a moment before asking, "Are the Simstone clan and the sea clan subordinate to the god race?" "Yes," the sea demon beast replied. "So the sea race is also preparing to capture me?" Su Chen's eyes narrowed. The sea race is indeed preparing to capture Senior, but they're waiting for the arrival of a few strong people, so they haven't made a move yet. The sea demon beast didn't hide anything. How strong are the sea race and the Qingshi clan? What's the level of their strongest? Su Chen continued to ask. Since they had already fallen out with the god clan, and the sea race was a subordinate of the god clan, they would definitely fight when they met in the future. Before that, it was best to figure out the other party's background. The sea clan is a super clan, and there are people who have surpassed level 10. The Qin clan is not well known, and there are not many of them, but every one of them is strong. The strongest is their leader, who is a level 10 evolver. Hearing this, Su Chen was slightly moved. The Sea tribe and the Chimera tribe were very strong. Although their overall strength was not as strong as the 5 super tribes, they were much stronger than the Beast tribe and the Half-Beast tribe. After figuring out the background of these two clans, Su Chen continued to ask, "How did you know that I killed Jin Su? How did you find me?" When Jin Su was killed, only Tianhe and Xuanji knew about it. Everyone else was killed. Later on the Savage Island, he also wiped out the entire mermaid clan. Logically speaking, this matter shouldn't have been leaked. Unless Tianhe and Xuanji were caught and sold him out. Senior, I have a special aura sensing skill. Even if Jin Su died without a complete corpse, I would still be able to sense Senior's aura at the place where he died. It was with this skill that I was able to find Senior's whereabouts, the sea monster explained. You're quite capable. Su Chen nodded slightly. This sea demon beast was not very strong, but its ability to find a target was very good. Senior, you flatter me. The sea demon beast was delighted to receive Su Chen's praise. This guy is being polite to me? Su Chen curled the corner of his mouth and released a lightning spell without warning, killing the sea beastkin beast cleanly. In an instant, more than 100 shining shards appeared on the sea demon beast's corpse. Su Chen walked forward happily. He first dug out the sea demon beast's energy stone, then began to pick up the shards. Chapter 485. After picking up the fragments and disposing of the sea beasts' bodies, Su Chen and the others returned to the cabin and continued to sail toward the mysterious heavenly mainland. As for killing the Sea clan, he temporarily gave up on this plan. After all, the Sea clan was a big clan. There must be many powerhouses. It would not be easy to eliminate them. At present, his main goal was to find the primordial spirit-shaping fruit tree. He did not want to be delayed by other things. Of course, the premise was that the Sea clan did not come looking for trouble. If they did not know what was good for them and came to hunt him down, he would kill them completely even if it would waste some time. After that, the intelligent war chariot sailed for 2 days. It was peaceful and did not encounter any attacks. At this speed, we should be able to reach the mysterious heavenly mainland in less than 7 days. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and looked at the central control screen as he muttered to himself. There was no light spot on the central control screen, and there were no islands nearby. This meant that there would not be any trouble later on. Su Chen heaved a sigh of relief, slowly closed his eyes, and began to rest. Unexpectedly, before he could rest for long, the intelligent war chariot suddenly reminded him, "Master, I feel that the nearby sea is very strange. There seems to be something dangerous hidden, but I can't find it." Su Chen opened his eyes and exclaimed softly. The intelligent war chariot's detection ability was very strong. Under its detection, no creature could hide. If there was really danger nearby, logically speaking, it should be able to find it. However, he did not doubt the intelligent war chariot's words at all. The intelligent war chariot was an intelligent machine. It would not shoot without a target. In that case, was there really a very dangerous thing hidden nearby that successfully avoided the detection of the intelligent war chariot? Thinking of this, Su Chen narrowed his eyes and looked at the central control screen. However, he saw that it was calm. "Satoshi, what else do you feel?" Su Chen asked in a low voice. The unknown was often the most dangerous. If he did not find any clues, he would always feel uneasy. "Master, ever since I entered this sea, my speed has inexplicably decreased a lot. It's as if there's resistance," the intelligent war chariot replied. Hearing this, Su Chen began to think. The speed of the intelligent war chariot would not decrease for no reason. There must be something wrong with the seawater outside. Suddenly, Su Chen released his spiritual power and extended it into the sea outside. Spiritual power also had a probing function, which was the same as the probing function of the intelligent chariot. However, there were still some subtle differences between the two. The detection function of the intelligent war chariot was a technological method, and spiritual power was not a technological method. It was a very mysterious detection method. Through the probing of his spiritual energy, Suchen quickly found some clues. The seawater below the intelligent war chariot was much thicker than the seawater around it. The two could be distinguished by their colors. As expected, the problem lies in the seawater. Suchen muttered to himself and continued to observe the seawater. All of a sudden, he discovered a very strange thing. The seawater below the intelligent war chariot looked like a huge palm from the silhouette. Compared to this palm, the intelligent war chariot was like an ant. Is it an illusion? Or is there really such a huge palm? Su Chen's eyelids twitched, and he looked behind the palm. He saw a sea giant that was hundreds of meters tall standing 50 meters away. And this huge palm extended from the body of the sea giant. Chapter 486. What's this? Su Chen was shocked. Just as he was about to go out to take a look, the hand in the sea grabbed the intelligent war chariot. Ah! It happened so suddenly that Yang Hao and the others were caught off guard. They all fell and screamed. Satoshi, open the door. Su Chen shouted. The moment the door opened, he rushed out. Flying in the air, he squinted his eyes and saw that the intelligent war chariot was being held by a hand made of seawater. Moreover, the hand was slowly exerting force. The intelligent war chariot made creaking sounds as if it was about to collapse. The intelligent war chariot was now in its level 6 form. It could withstand the attack of a level 6 cultivator. In such a situation, the opponent's attack power had definitely exceeded level 6. It might even be stronger than level 7. Otherwise, the intelligent war chariot would not have been defeated in one blow. Once the intelligent war chariot was destroyed, none of the people in the chariot would be spared. Su Chen would not allow such a situation to happen. He quickly pulled out the enchanted divine sword. Break! Su Chen held the sword with both hands and slashed at the hand in the sea. A huge gray wind blade swept out and easily shattered the hand in the sea. Crash! Large amounts of seawater fell from the sky like a torrential rain. The intelligent war chariot also fell into the sea and smashed a huge wave. Satoshi, are you okay? Su Chen looked at the intelligent war chariot and asked worriedly. Master, I've suffered quite a bit of damage. However, I have the ability to repair myself. It's not a big problem, the intelligent war chariot replied. Leave this place first. I'll look for you later. Su Chen heaved a sigh of relief and instructed. The opponent's attack method was a little strange. Moreover, it was abnormally strong. In order to prevent damage to the intelligent war chariot, he had to let it leave this place. The intelligent war chariot was also smart. In order to prevent another sneak attack, it directly activated the invisibility function and disappeared into the sea. Su Chen was connected to the intelligent war chariot. Although he could not see it, he could clearly sense its location. After the intelligent war chariot was a few miles away, he turned around and fixed his eyes on a certain part of the sea. He said sternly, "Don't play tricks. Come out." Gurgle gurgle. On the surface of the sea not far away, the seawater started to churn violently. Immediately afterward, a huge wave surged up, as if something was crawling out from the bottom of the sea. Su Chen was not in a hurry to make a move. He stood quietly in the air and waited. A few seconds later, the entire surface of the sea surged violently. A colossal creature that was over 300 meters tall emerged and stood on the surface of the sea. This gigantic creature was in the shape of a human, and its entire body was made of seawater. However, the strange thing was that its huge head did not have a nose or mouth. It only had 3 eyes, and in each eye stood a man. Why is it only level 7? Su Chen frowned slightly as he felt the aura of the other party. Initially, He thought that this colossal creature would be at least level 8. He did not expect it to only be level 7. How dare it provoke him at level 7? Was it not courting death? At the same time, the people in the intelligent war chariot were all stunned by the scene before them. The impact of this colossus, which was hundreds of meters tall, was simply too strong. In the past, the tallest creature they had seen was the Titan. However, compared to the colossal creature before them, the Titan was only a little brother. Chapter 487. Could Su Chen still be a match for such a colossus? Yang Hao and the others were worried. Even Wu Yang, who had always been confident in Su Chen, was uncertain this time. On the other side, Su Chen narrowed his eyes and said coldly, "Which race are you from? Why did you ambush us here? Su Chen, you are indeed capable. No wonder you could kill Tsing Yifan from the Qing clan." A man's sneer came from the middle eye of the sea giant. He turned a deaf ear to Su Chen's question. "Since you know my strength, you still dare to ambush me. Are you not afraid of death?" Su Chen frowned slightly. Tsing Yifan should be the level 8 evolver that he had killed. With Tsing Yifan's strength, he was definitely one of the strongest level 8 evolvers. Since they knew his strength, why did they still dare to come here? Who gave them the courage? You can kill Tsing Yifan, but you think you are a match for us? You think too highly of yourself. The man in the left eye sneered. Then, the man in the right eye said, "Su Chen, let me tell you the truth. We are invincible in the sea. No matter how powerful you are, you will be buried here today." Su Chen curled his lips and smiled contemptuously. "I have to say that you are indeed capable of bragging. I am standing right here. Come and kill me if you dare. Arrogant. You overestimate yourself. Frogs in a well." The three men were angered by Su Chen's words and shouted at the same time. Suddenly, the sea giant clenched a fist that was dozens of feet in size and smashed toward Su Chen. Seeing this, Su Chen was not afraid. His palm shone with a bright golden light as he punched. Whoosh whoosh, a loud whistling sound was heard as 100 golden fist shadows appeared in the air. As Su Chen punched, the 100 fist shadows landed on the sea giant's fist. Bang! 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 In a series of explosions, the huge sea giant's fist was easily destroyed. "Is that all you have?" Su Chen sneered. "Secret fist technique. No wonder you are so arrogant." The man in the left eye clicked his tongue. The sea giant was a level 7 evolver. The power of this fist was enough to make a level 7 evolver retreat. On the other hand, Su Chen was only level 6, but he did not retreat. He could even easily destroy the sea giant's fist. The man in the middle eye said disdainfully, "Do you think you can show off in front of us just because you have the upper hand? Let me tell you the truth. We are not only invincible in the sea, we are also invincible. Wake up." As soon as he finished speaking, the seawater under the feet of the sea giant surged up and rushed to the right arm that was about to collapse. In the blink of an eye, an intact seawater hand appeared in front of Su Chen's eyes. "Ha! Brat, do you know what it means to be immortal?" The man in the right eye laughed wantonly. "Invincible? What a shameless boast." Su Chen scoffed at this. In his opinion, the sea giant's ability was similar to the body of healing. They could both heal their injuries quickly. However, it was still far from being immortal and indestructible. Invincible meant that they could not be killed. The sea giant was controlled by 3 men. As long as the 3 men were killed, the sea giant would naturally be destroyed. After figuring this out, Su Chen decided to use a thunderous method to end the battle as soon as possible. Crack, along with the sound of bones cracking, Su Chen's body grew rapidly. In the blink of an eye, he was 10 feet tall. At the same time, a violent aura leaked out. After using the Atlas shape-shifting skill, Su Chen's strength had increased to level 7. Chapter 488. Transformation Skill. The three men in the eyes of the sea giant exclaimed at the same time. Su Chen actually had such a powerful trump card, which was something they did not expect. With Su Chen's promotion to level 7, let alone taking him down, it was hard to say if they could even be his opponent. What should we do? Should we continue to fight with him? The man in the right eye was hesitant. Su Chen had already intimidated them greatly when he was at level 6. Now that he was at level 7, his strength had increased exponentially. He might really be able to cause fatal damage to them. What are you afraid of? In the sea, we have an obvious advantage. Even if we are not his match, we can just run away, the man in the middle eye gritted his teeth and said. In fact, he was still very afraid of Su Chen. However, before they came, they had already boasted to the higher-ups of the tribe that they would definitely bring Su Chen's body back. If they ran away without fighting, it would be a disgrace. They would definitely be punished when they returned to the tribe, and their future would be very bleak. No matter how strong Su Chen is, he won't have the ability to recover so quickly like us. We can exhaust him to death, the man in the left eye said disdainfully. The sea giant could continuously use seawater to heal itself, but Su Chen did not have such an ability. As long as they could hold Su Chen back and exhaust Su Chen's strength, victory would definitely belong to them. Hearing this, the eyes of the other two men of the sea tribe suddenly lit up. The three of them looked at each other and laughed wantonly. Kill him. Suddenly, the sea giant clenched its fist again and smashed it towards Su Chen. This time, Su Chen did not choose to dodge or counterattack. He just let the fist hit him. With the ancient god-demon body, he could ignore any attack of the same level. In a situation where they were both at level 7, the fist of the sea giant could not do anything to him. The three men of the sea tribe did not know Su Chen's background. When they saw that Su Chen did not dodge, they were stunned for a moment, then they were overjoyed. Even a level 8 evolver would not dare to use his physical body to block the attack of a level 7 sea giant. Su Chen was only level 7, yet he still dared to do such a thing. It was tantamount to seeking his own death. There was a loud boom. The seawater fist smashed onto Su Chen's body and even submerged Su Chen's entire body. However, the expected scene of Su Chen being sent flying did not happen. On the other hand, when the seawater fist came into contact with Su Chen, it inexplicably collapsed. It felt like an egg hitting a rock. How could this be? Did he have an indestructible body? How could his physical body be so strong? The three men from the sea tribe were dumbfounded, and their hearts were in turmoil. Su Chen defeated the fist of the sea giant with only his physical body. His strength could only be described as incredible. At this moment, the fear in the hearts of the three of them had reached its peak. They all had the same thought, and that was to immediately flee from this place, as far as they could. Run. With this thought in mind, the sea giant turned around and fled. Its speed was so fast that it was even faster than the intelligent war chariot. Want to run? Did I agree? Su Chen smiled contemptuously. Then, purple light surrounded his feet as he stomped hard. With a boom, the entire surface of the sea was trampled. Every time Su Chen took a step, there would be a huge wave under his feet. In just a few steps, he had already caught up with the sea giant. Then, he swung his saber. In an instant, a terrifying icy intent swept forward. When it came into contact with the sea giant, it directly froze it. Chapter 489. Seeing the huge ice sculpture that was hundreds of meters tall on the sea, the people in the intelligent war chariot were both excited and shocked. Oh my god. Chen Ge can even freeze such a big guy. He's really powerful. Chen Ge is still as awesome as ever. Yang Hao and the others kept exclaiming. What a powerful ice magic. How powerful is he? Shen Mengxi's eyes were fixed on Su Chen as she murmured. On the other side, as soon as Su Chen froze the sea giant, he ran the heaven-reaching hundredfold vigorous technique and punched the ice sculpture's body. There was a loud bang. The huge ice sculpture disintegrated and turned into ice shards that shot out in all directions. "Senior, please have mercy." A huge ice ball fell from the sky with 3 men from the sea tribe wrapped in it. At this moment, the 3 of them were scared out of their wits and begged Su Chen for mercy. Su Chen released his mind power and pulled the ice ball closer. He asked coldly, "I'll ask you one more time. Which tribe are you from?" "Senior, we're from the sea tribe." The 3 men from the sea tribe replied in unison. "The sea tribe." Su Chen muttered. The sea tribe was a subordinate force of the Protoss. It was understandable that they would come here to kill him. Originally, he didn't want to eliminate the sea tribe in a hurry. He didn't expect that they would really provoke him and force him to take action. Then, he asked without batting an eyelid, "Where is the realm passage of the Sea Clan to this place?" "It's on Wild Island." The 3 men from the sea tribe didn't dare to hide anything and answered truthfully. Hearing this, Su Chen was a little hesitant. He had seen Wild Island on the central control screen. It was quite far away from here. If he wanted to eliminate the sea tribe, it would take at least a few days. "I'll let you live a little longer." Su Chen snorted coldly. In order to get the primordial spirit-shaping fruit tree as soon as possible, he could only put the matter of eliminating the sea tribe aside. Shortly after, he released the thunderstorm technique and mercilessly killed the 3 merfolk. After the 3 members of the sea race died, 100 fragments slowly floated down from the sky. Su Chen put away Atlas Polymorph and began to pick up the fragments. Picked up Drunken Life/Death, fragment *1, 100. The fragment is not full, so it cannot be used. It can be exchanged for energy points. Su Chen did not care at first, but when he heard that he needed 100 fragments, his heart skipped a beat. The name of Drunken Life seemed a little ordinary and not domineering at all, but the number of fragments was on the same level as the ancient god-fiend body. The items that required 100 fragments to exchange for were all of high quality without exception. Su Chen was naturally reluctant to exchange them for energy points. No. With that, he continued to pick up the shards. The remaining fragments were not worth much, so they were all exchanged for energy points. Su Chen opened the Doomsday Mall. When he saw that the energy points had reached more than 2,000, the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. After a while, he returned to the Intelligent War Chariot, and ordered, "Satoshi, continue to the mysterious heavenly mainland." Yes. The Intelligent War Chariot accelerated. 3 days later, the terrain of the mysterious heavenly mainland appeared on the central control screen. "We're finally here." Su Chen heaved a sigh of relief. "Senior, if you want to enter the mysterious heavenly mainland, you must go through the teleportation formation on Wangshu Island." At this moment, Shen Mengfei suddenly reminded him. Su Chen was a little confused and asked, "Why?" Chapter 490. The mysterious heavenly mainland is surrounded by a layer of extremely poisonous miasma all year round. No matter what profession a cultivator is in, no matter how high their cultivation base is, anyone who enters the miasma will definitely die, Shen Mengfei explained. Not even those who are beyond level 10? Su Chen probed. He did not really believe Shen Mengfei's explanation. In his opinion, the layer of miasma was somewhat poisonous. However, it was only effective against low-level cultivators. The higher the level of a cultivator, the stronger their resistance against the miasma. Especially those who were above level 10, Su Chen even felt that they had reached the level of immortality. Ordinary means could not kill them at all, so why would they care about a mere miasma? Rumor has it that there were once beings beyond level 10 who tried to pass through the layer of miasma. However, they all disappeared without a trace in the end. Shen Mengfei observed the changes in Su Chen's expression as she spoke. After interacting with Su Chen for the past few days, she had some understanding of Su Chen. Su Chen was a person who had absolute confidence in himself. In Su Chen's eyes, there seemed to be nothing that could stop him. Shen Mengfei was worried that Su Chen would ignore the layer of miasma and force his way into the mysterious heavenly mainland. If that was the case, all of them would be doomed eternally. Upon hearing this, Su Chen's eyes slowly narrowed. Although it was just a rumor and had not been confirmed, it should be somewhat credible since it had been passed down. Can't we pass through it from the sky or the ground? Su Chen asked again. No, Shen Mengfei affirmed. Then, she explained, the layer of miasma seems to be connected to the sky and the ground. No matter where you go, you'll have to come into contact with it. You can only do that through a teleportation formation. This layer of miasma is a little strange. Su Chen vaguely felt that this layer of miasma was not as simple as it seemed. After pondering for a while, he looked at the central control screen. Then, he whispered, Satoshi, enlarge the area of the mysterious heavenly mainland that you've detected. Yes. The image on the central control screen changed, and soon, a dense forest appeared. Beyond the forest was a sea. Su Chen could clearly see that in the sea area connected to the forest, there was indeed a layer of black fog floating. It started from the sea surface and extended all the way up. There was no end to it at all. Seeing this, Su Chen was about to withdraw his gaze when he suddenly noticed that there seemed to be a black dot flickering in the fog, but it quickly disappeared. An alien creature entered the miasma and was destroyed? Su Chen was suspicious, so he asked the intelligent war chariot, Satoshi, what was that black spot that appeared just now? Master, there seems to be some alien creatures hiding in the miasma, but they have a shielding function. I can only detect their existence occasionally, the intelligent war chariot explained. Su Chen's eyelids twitched. He did not doubt that what the intelligent war chariot said was false. There should be alien creatures hidden in the miasma. As for their numbers, it was unknown. Perhaps there was only one, or perhaps it would reach an unimaginable level. It seems that we can only go to Wangshu Island, Su Chen muttered with a solemn expression. He had the ancient god-fiend body, so he was not afraid of any poisonous gas or evil creatures. However, since there were alien creatures hiding in the miasma, he had to be wary. Besides, no one else could pass through the miasma. Therefore, if he wanted to enter the mysterious heavenly mainland, he could only do as Shen Mengfei said. Satoshi, go to Wangshu Island, Su Chen ordered. Yes. The intelligent war chariot locked onto Wangshu Island and sailed quickly. Shen Mengfei, who was next to him, let out a long sigh of relief. She wanted to see Su Chen make this decision. Chapter 491. Shen Mengfei, what are the forces on Wangshu Island? Are there any zombies and mutant beasts? On the way, Su Chen asked Shen Mengfei. Killing zombies for fragments was his main job. If there were a large number of zombies on Wangshu Island, he could kill a group of them along the way. There are a lot of zombies and mutant beasts on Wangshu Island, but they are all very strong. Moreover, the forces on Wangshu Island are mixed and have formed a tacit understanding for a long time. Once someone provokes a fight, they will be attacked by other forces. Shen Mengfei's face changed slightly as she stated the stakes. She knew very well that Su Chen must be planning to kill zombies and mutant beasts. However, there were many strong people on Wangshu Island, and a slight move would affect the whole situation. Even with Su Chen's strength, facing many strong people, he would definitely not have a good time. Hearing this, Su Chen narrowed his eyes and pondered. The situation on Wangshu Island was similar to that of Yulin on Xinyu Island. Many forces supported each other and were in a state of balance. Once an outsider broke this balance, it was likely to arouse public anger and be attacked by a group. However, he did not take it to heart. When he was in Yulin, didn't he face the siege of many strong people? In the end, didn't he completely destroy them? Therefore, he would not let go of the zombies and mutant beasts on Wangshu Island. As for the other forces, whoever dared to provoke him would be destroyed without any room for negotiation. What other forces are on Wangshu Island? Su Chen asked calmly. Since he was determined to kill zombies and mutant beasts, he naturally had to find out the details of Wangshu Island before doing so that he could be prepared. The largest forces on Wangshu Island can be roughly divided into 7. Except for Tianwang City, which is a human force, the other forces are all aliens. Shen Mingfei said. Tell me the details. Su Chen's heart moved and he asked. There were so many aliens on Wangshu Island, which he did not expect. If they were all killed, how many fragments would they drop? Those zombies are under the control of the Undead Clan. The Saint Devil Clan is behind the mutant beasts. Other than that, there are also the God Clan, the Chimera Clan, the Green Mang Clan, and the Rock Clan. There is also the Sacred Demon Tribe. Su Chen's expression changed slightly. Other than the Sacred Demon Tribe, he had come into contact with the other super clans and had killed many of their people. If they wanted to deal with the mutant beasts, they would have to deal with the Sacred Demon Tribe. In this way, he could be considered to have offended all 5 super races. He was only a level 6 cultivator, yet he was able to go head-to-head with 5 super races at the same time. If news of this were to spread, many jaws would drop to the ground. Does that mean that there's a realm passage to the alien race on Wangshu Island? Su Chen continued to ask. No, the outsiders all came from other places, but they all have their own territories on Wangshu Island, Shen Mingfei explained. Su Chen nodded slightly. What's the level of the strongest among these forces? Every force has a level 6 cultivator in charge, Shen Mingfei replied with certainty. Only level 6? Su Chen was a little disdainful. He could kill a level 6 cultivator with just one hand. In this way, wouldn't he be an existence that could do whatever he wanted on Wangshu Island? Zombies and aliens, he could kill them all. Who could stop him? Shen Mingfei seemed to have thought of something and quickly said, Senior, there's something very important that I need to remind you of. Speak. Su Chen did not mind. Once outsiders like us enter Wangshu Island, our cultivation will be suppressed by a level. Chapter 492. There's such a thing? Su Chen was quite surprised and asked, why would this happen? No one knows what's going on exactly, but there's a rumor that there's a natural formation hidden on Wangshu Island that can weaken the strength of outsiders, Shen Mingfei explained. Su Chen was a master who killed wherever he went. She was really worried that Su Chen would start a massacre on Wangshu Island. Therefore, she had to point this out to Su Chen in advance. So, those level 6 cultivators on Wangshu Island were originally level 7? Su Chen rubbed his nose and asked. That's not it. As long as you enter Wangshu Island and stay for a long time, your cultivation will naturally recover to its peak state, Shen Mingfei replied truthfully. Wangshu Island is a little strange. Su Chen chuckled. Even if he was suppressed by a level, he was still a level 5 cultivator. With his ability to easily kill enemies of a higher level, he was still an existence that could do whatever he wanted on Wangshu Island. Therefore, he was not worried about this matter at all. Seeing that Su Chen was still as calm as ever, Shen Mingfei shook her head and did not say anything else. Master, we're about to reach Wangshu Island. At this moment, the intelligent war chariot suddenly reminded him. Hearing this, Su Chen narrowed his eyes and looked outside. Not far away, there was a huge port. At this time, a large number of ships were coming in and out. The coast of Wangshu Island was densely packed with steep reefs. It was not impossible to cross the reefs and enter Wangshu Island, but it was very troublesome. Entering from the port, each person only needed to pay 10 ordinary energy stones. Those who could enter and leave Wangshu Island were not ordinary people. Why would they care about this little bit of energy stones? As a tycoon, Su Chen did not care about this little bit of energy stones. As there were more ships coming in and out, there was a long line outside the port at this time. Su Chen was not too ostentatious. He let the intelligent war chariot line up in order and followed behind a large wooden ship. After waiting for a while, seeing that it was not his turn, Su Chen simply walked out of the cabin. "Friend, are you going to Wangshu Island?" At this moment, on the large ship in front, a middle-aged man in a gray robe with a somewhat rough face asked Su Chen. Su Chen felt that the other party's question was nonsense. If they were not going to Wangshu Island, why were they queuing up here? However, he did not say much and only nodded slightly. Seeing this, the coarse man's expression changed. "Are you selling this ship?" The yacht that the intelligent war chariot had turned into looked very new and cool. He had never seen such a beautiful metal boat before, so he wanted to buy it. "Not for sale." Su Chen's voice was cold. If the other party wanted to buy the intelligent war chariot, it was no different from wishful thinking. Think about it again. Anyway, you're going to enter Wangshu Island, and this ship can't always follow you. The price is negotiable. The rough man didn't give up. "I'm telling you one more time, I'm not selling. Don't disturb me." Su Chen snorted coldly. Hearing this, the coarse man's face immediately became gloomy, and his eyes flashed with coldness. After looking at Su Chen, he did not say anything. He did not speak, but a young man with a thin face beside him was a little unhappy. He raised his voice and scolded, "Boy, don't be so shameless. It's your honor to buy your ship. Do you know who we are?" Su Chen curled his lips, and a strange arc appeared at the corner of his mouth. "I don't know who you are, but I know that you're a dead man." There was an explosion. As soon as Su Chen finished speaking, the young man's head inexplicably exploded. Chapter 493. Originally, Su Chen had wanted to keep a low profile as he had just arrived. He hadn't expected someone to provoke him. He wouldn't show mercy to people who didn't know what was good for them. This guy is so arrogant. He killed people just like that. Isn't he afraid of revenge? To be able to kill people silently, he must be a telekinesis master. So what if he's a telekinesis master? The person he killed was from the Yulong Chamber of Commerce. The Yulong Chamber of Commerce is one of the top forces on Wangshu Island. This guy must be out of luck. This outsider doesn't know the immensity of heaven and earth. Does he think he can be unscrupulous just because he has some ability? He's still too young. The scene of Su Chen killing people was witnessed by the people on the surrounding ships, and they all started discussing. At the same time, Shen Mengfei, who was in the intelligent war chariot, swallowed and sighed faintly. As expected, he kills wherever he goes. You dare to kill people from the Yulong Chamber of Commerce? The rough man was so angry that the corners of his mouth trembled as he glared at Su Chen. Although the Yulong Chamber of Commerce wasn't a top force, they still had a level 5 evolver holding down the fort. Even outsiders had to give them some face. He hadn't expected this young outsider to not give them any face and kill people in front of them. He simply didn't take the Yulong Chamber of Commerce seriously. How despicable. If it weren't for his fear of Su Chen's strength, he would have attacked long ago. Su Chen smiled contemptuously. If you dare to say another word, do you believe that I won't kill you too? Also, don't show off the bullsh**t Yulong Chamber of Commerce. If you anger me, I'll uproot you. As soon as he said that, there was an uproar. Who gave him the courage? How can he speak so unscrupulously? This guy is too arrogant. He doesn't even take the Yulong Chamber of Commerce seriously. I bet 100 energy stones that once this guy enters Wangshu Island, there won't even be a corpse left. Su Chen vividly displayed his domineering and unscrupulous side, shocking everyone. At the same time, they were looking forward to the Yulong Chamber of Commerce's people immediately attacking so that they could watch the show. The rough-looking man's face turned red and white as a raging flame of anger ignited in his chest. However, under Su Chen's forceful gaze, he didn't even dare to let out a fart and ran into the cabin with his tail between his legs. This move would definitely be criticized and mocked by the onlookers. It would be a disgrace to the Yulong Chamber of Commerce. However, he did not dare to confront Su Chen head-on. If he continued to stay outside, it would be even more embarrassing. He might as well hide and leave the heart of the storm. Of course, after this incident, his hatred for Su Chen grew even stronger. He also decided to report this matter to the upper echelons of the Chamber of Commerce as soon as possible so that the Chamber of Commerce could send experts to kill Su Chen. What a piece of trash. Seeing the rough man run away with his tail between his legs, Su Chen snorted and returned to the cabin. The surrounding onlookers had nothing to watch, so they stopped paying attention. Senior, the Yulong Chamber of Commerce has a level 5 evolver. In addition, they have a good relationship with the other major forces. Shen Mengfei immediately explained the situation of the Yulong Chamber of Commerce to Su Chen. In other words, she was reminding Su Chen to be careful when entering Wangshu Island. Su Chen scoffed at this. On this trip to Wangshu Island, in addition to entering the Shantian continent through the teleportation formation, he was also prepared to eliminate all the major forces of the other tribe. What was a mere Yulong Chamber of Commerce? If they dared to provoke him, he would eliminate them all. All right, I understand. Su Chen said perfunctorily. He sat in the driver's seat and closed his eyes to rest. Chapter 494. Chingu, it's our turn. More than half an hour later, the ships in front of the intelligent war chariot had finished their inspection and left the port. Yang Hao reminded Su Chen. Su Chen opened his eyes and saw several armored soldiers on the dock. He motioned for the intelligent war chariot to go over for inspection. Satoshi, let's go. Su Chen ordered and stood up. When they approached the dock, Su Chen led everyone off the ship. At this time, the intelligent war chariot also changed back into a war chariot. Oh my god. This guy's ship can turn into a MCV. It's amazing. No wonder this guy refused to sell it. Nonsense, only a fool would sell such a good thing. The transformation of the intelligent war chariot immediately surprised the onlookers. Su Chen also knew that the intelligent war chariot's transformation in front of everyone would definitely attract the attention of some jealous people. However, he didn't care at all. If anyone dared to have any ideas about him, they wouldn't be far from death. Not far away, an abnormally strong man in black armor saw this scene. His eyes rolled and he walked straight towards Su Chen. How many energy stones do I need to pay in total? Su Chen asked a soldier. The soldier glanced at him and said, there are 10 of you in total, and each of you has to pay 10 energy stones. The MCV is 100 energy stones. Su Chen nodded slightly, took out 110 ordinary energy stones, and handed them to the soldier. Just as he was about to take everyone to the MCV and leave, the strong man who came over suddenly scolded, "Boy, your energy stones are wrong. 110 is wrong." Su Chen rubbed his nose. He counted the energy stones with his mental strength, and the number was absolutely correct. Why did the other party say that? Was he here to pick a fight? I'm not talking about the quantity, but the level. If you wish to enter Prosperous Dawn Island, you need to pay level 1 energy stones, not common energy stones, the robust man sneered. He then gave the soldier a meaningful glance. The soldier immediately understood and shouted at Su Chen, "Kid, you actually dared to use ordinary energy stones to fool me. Are you tired of living?" Hearing this, the surrounding onlookers immediately whispered to each other. What's going on? Didn't they always use ordinary energy stones to enter and exit Prosperous Dawn Island? When will it be changed to level 1 energy stones? Are you stupid? Would Lin Hu care about a few energy stones? He must have taken a fancy to that MCV. But the owner of the MCV is a spirit reader master. Lin Hu still dares to snatch it. There are also strong and weak spirit reader masters. That guy is so young and is at most a level 3 spirit reader master. Moreover, he will be suppressed by a level after entering Wangshu Island. How can he be Lin Hu's opponent? That's right, Lin Hu is a level 4 evolver. That guy is definitely not his match. Just as everyone had guessed, the robust man, Lin Hu, was indeed planning to snatch the intelligent chariot. Previously, he had heard about the conflict between Su Chen and the Yulong Chamber of Commerce. In his opinion, once Su Chen and the others entered prosperous Dawn Island, they would suffer the crazy revenge of the Yulong Chamber of Commerce. At that time, the intelligent chariot would fall into the hands of the Yulong Chamber of Commerce. Since it would be snatched away sooner or later, why not snatch it away first? When did prosperous Dawn Island change the charging standard? Are you deliberately blackmailing us? Shen Mengfei argued. She had been in and out of prosperous Dawn Island and was clear about the charging standard. Chapter 495. What if I don't hand it over? Su Chen gradually narrowed his eyes and sneered. Lin Hu looked at Su Chen and said with a fake smile, "If you can't hand over the energy stones, then get out of here. Also, since you wasted so much of our time, we will also confiscate your MCV. Chen Gu, this guy is too much. Let me teach him a lesson." Shi Daniu was a little angry. Yang Hao and Chao Ran also took out their weapons, eager to fight. You dare to behave atrociously on Wangshu Island? Lin Hu squinted his eyes and glanced at Shi Daniu and the other two, disdainfully snorting. The armored soldiers, who were originally scattered around, gathered together. Their number reached more than 100, and they surrounded Su Chen and the others. Su Chen signaled Shi Daniu and the other two to calm down. He glanced at Lin Hu and said with a smile, "So, you are going to rob us?" Sensing the provocation in Su Chen's eyes, Lin Hu's face became gloomy, and he threatened in a low voice, "Boy, don't be ungrateful. Grandpa has taken a fancy to this MCV. You have to hand it over, even if you don't want to. If that's the case, then you can die." Su Chen curled his lips and punched out without warning. "How dare you!" Seeing that Su Chen dared to take the initiative to attack, Lin Hu flew into a rage and punched at Su Chen. The next moment, the two fists violently collided, and there was a loud bang. Lin Hu's whole body was blown to pieces by Su Chen's punch. Hiss! Witnessing this scene, the surrounding people gasped. Then, it fell into a strange silence. Everyone's face was filled with inexplicable horror, and their hearts were set off by stormy waves. It must be known that Lin Hu was a true level 4 evolver, yet he was beaten to a pulp by this young man in front of him. What level was this young man at? He was at least a level 5 evolver. Moreover, when he thought about how he would be suppressed by a level after entering Wangshu Island, it meant that this young man was a level 6 evolver. What kind of concept was a level 6 evolver? The strongest person among the 7 top forces on Wangshu Island was only at level 6. The young man in front of him was an existence that was on par with those top experts. No wonder this guy doesn't care about the Yulong Chamber of Commerce. He's not pretending or being stupid. He's really fearless. At this time, someone recalled the conflict between Su Chen and the Yulong Chamber of Commerce and couldn't help but sigh. Master Lin is dead. The armored soldiers surrounding Su Chen and the others were all inexplicably terrified and retreated one after another. The scene of Su Chen blowing up Lin Hu with a single punch had an unprecedented psychological impact on them. Facing a terrifying existence like Su Chen, they instinctively became timid. Su Chen's gaze swept over and finally landed on the armored soldier who had shouted at him. The soldier immediately felt his entire body turn cold. After shivering, he knelt on the ground with a plop and kept kowtowing. He loudly begged for mercy, "Senior, I was wrong. Please spare my worthless life." Seeing that this guy saw the opportunity so quickly, Su Chen didn't want to argue with an ant. He coldly said, "Slap yourself 100 times. Thank you, Senior." The armored soldier was overjoyed. He climbed up and slapped himself. Slap, slap, slap. For a moment, the entire dock echoed with the crisp sound of slapping. As if worried that Su Chen wouldn't be satisfied, the armored soldier slapped himself very hard. After a few slaps, his entire face swelled up, looking like a pig's head. Chapter 496. Get in the car. Su Chen called out. When everyone got into the car and was about to leave, a large group of soldiers in golden armor suddenly appeared in front of them. There were about 100 of them. Master, they are from the mutated tribe, the intelligent war chariot reminded. Oh. Su Chen's eyes flashed. He had planned to destroy the mutated tribe, but he did not expect them to come knocking on his door. Senior, they are from the Yufeng guards of the Protoss, Shen Mingfei said with a slight change in her expression. The Yufeng guards of the Protoss did not have many people, but they were very strong. Every member was a cultivator above level 2, and their captain, Yen Quan, was a level 5 spirit reader. Since they are from the Protoss, then kill them all. Su Chen rubbed his nose and walked out of the car with a relaxed expression. A few days ago, he had just killed a genius disciple of the Protoss, and it could be said that he had formed a blood feud with the Protoss that could not be resolved. Killing one Protoss was killing, and killing 100 was also killing. Since he had encountered them this time, he naturally would not let go of the chance to drop the fragment. Shen Mingfei sighed helplessly. If he continues to kill like this, the other forces will definitely not let him go. Is he really not afraid at all? Yang Hao and the rest were unusually excited, and they followed closely behind Su Chen. When everyone got out of the car, a middle-aged man in his 30s with an extraordinary temperament walked out of the Yufeng guards. The man glanced at Su Chen and shouted, "Are you the ones who are killing people here? Do you know that this is the territory of the Protoss?" Su Chen was slightly stunned. The soldiers guarding here were clearly human. How did it become the territory of the Protoss? Could it be that these human soldiers were all affiliated with the Protoss? Senior, this is indeed the territory of the Protoss, and these human soldiers have also submitted to the Protoss, Shen Mingfei explained when she saw that Su Chen was a little confused. Hearing this, Su Chen shook his head and sighed. It is an indisputable fact that humans are weak. They were in their own territory, but they were under the jurisdiction of the outsiders, and they had to look at the outsiders' faces. Moreover, this situation did not only exist on Wangshu Island. It was probably the case across the entire mysterious heavenly mainland. This was the tragedy of the human race. Taking a deep breath, Su Chen looked at the god race man and said coldly, "This is clearly the human race's mainland. When did it become your god race's territory?" The god clan man laughed wildly. Then, he looked at Su Chen as if he was looking at a fool and said sarcastically, "Boy, in this world, the strong are respected. You humans are so weak. You deserve to be bullied by us." "You're right. The weak do not have the right to choose." Su Chen nodded slightly, and then said sternly, "However, as long as I'm here, I'll drive all of you bastards out of the human continent. I'll kill anyone who refuses to comply." These words could be said to be domineering and revealed unparalleled confidence, causing everyone to be dumbstruck. After a long time, intense discussions broke out all around. F***CK. I've never seen such an arrogant person, but it's really F***King satisfying. How dare he be so arrogant in front of the Protoss? Does this guy want to die? Don't forget that he's a level 6 evolved being. Even if he suppresses his cultivation, he's still level 5. He's qualified to be arrogant. But is the Protoss easy to deal with? There are countless powerhouses in the Protoss. How can a level 6 evolved being compare to them? This guy is so arrogant as soon as he came here. He's crazy when he meets the Protoss. Chapter 497. The male god regained his senses and sized up Su Chen once again. A cold glint flashed across his eyes as he said in a low voice, "Kid, your shameless boasting has successfully infuriated me. If you kneel at my feet now, I'll consider leaving your corpse intact." How could the dignity of the gods be insulted so easily? Not only did Su Chen look down on the gods, he even declared that he would suppress all the other races. He was so arrogant to the point of insanity. If he did not teach him a lesson, he would lose the dignity of the gods. Su Chen curled his lips and smiled contemptuously. You think you can kill me with just a piece of trash like you? I'll give you a chance too. Kneel and break one of your arms, and I'll consider giving you a quick death. You're courting death. The male god could no longer tolerate Su Chen's provocative words. He immediately released his mental strength and swept it towards Su Chen. Level 5 mental strength. You're quite capable. To prevent Wu Yang and the rest from getting hurt, Su Chen also released his mental strength. Although his cultivation level was suppressed to level 5, his mental strength was slightly higher than level 6 after consuming the essence fruit. After the two violent mental strengths collided, the void vibrated and distorted irregularly. However, this phenomenon disappeared very quickly. The reason was that the male god's mental strength was completely crushed. Level 6 mental strength. How is this possible? The male god was dumbfounded and exclaimed in shock. Before he could react, he was suddenly attacked by an invisible force from all directions. He lost the ability to resist and became a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. Get over here. Su Chen controlled his mental strength and pulled the male god in front of him. Kid, I advise you to let me go quickly. If you dare to harm me, the gods will not let you off. The god clan man was terrified, and he screamed in terror. I even dared to kill the son of the imperial god king. You're nothing. Su Chen snorted coldly and gave Chao Ran a look. The god race male in front of him clearly hadn't understood the situation. He still dared to make threats at this point. Su Chen didn't just let him die easily. Did you kill Jin So? The god race clansman's expression froze. He was almost scared out of his wits. The matter of Jin So being killed recently spread like wildfire in the divine race. It was rumored that the imperial god king was enraged and sent out many experts to hunt them down. But without exception, all of them died in the hands of the murderer. Among them was a level 8 evolver from the Symbol tribe and 3 level 7 evolvers from the Sea tribe. From this, it could be seen how terrifying the murderer was. But this young man in front of him actually admitted that he was Jin So's murderer. This made the god race man extremely shocked. At the same time, his heart was filled with fear. Just as the god race man was at a loss of what to do, Chao Ran understood Su Chen's intention and controlled the netherworld dagger to stab at the god race man's eyes. Poochie. Poochie. 2 bloody holes appeared in the god race man's eyes. Bright red blood flowed out of them. Ah! The god race man let out a heart-wrenching scream. Noisy. Su Chen snorted and raised his hand to smash the god race man's head. Suddenly, the shining fragments appeared in front of him. There were more than 100 of them. Killing foreign tribesmen is still the best. Su Chen sighed with emotion. Then, he turned his gaze to the rest of the Protoss, but the corners of his mouth curled into a strange arc. Chapter 498. The captain is dead. Witnessing the tragic death of the Protoss in front of their eyes, a feeling of fear spread among the Yufeng guards. However, this feeling did not last long. They turned their grief into anger and attacked Su Chen together. Avenge the captain. Kill this human. Most of the members of the Yufeng guards were spirit reader masters, and only a few were evolvers. They were divided into 2 groups. The spirit reader masters gathered together to release their spirit powers, while the evolvers rushed towards Su Chen. Suddenly, more than 80 spirit powers gathered together like a large net, covering Su Chen in the air. Even the light of a grain of rice could shine. Su Chen looked calm, allowing the opponent's spirit powers to pour down. The next moment, a strange scene appeared. The large net formed by spirit powers broke apart inch by inch when it touched Su Chen. It was not even qualified to tickle Su Chen. How is this possible? How can he ignore our spirit powers? Is he still human? Witnessing this scene, the members of the Yufeng guards were dumbfounded, and a deep layer of fear filled their eyes. Su Chen's strength was completely beyond their imagination, causing a strong psychological impact. Su Chen stood there and let them kill him, but they could not kill him. How could they fight this battle? Run! The members of the Yufeng guards looked at each other and turned to flee. Want to run? Su Chen curled his lips, and a touch of sarcasm appeared as he raised his hand and punched. In an instant, the air was covered by a shadow of a fist. Accompanied by a whistling sound, there were bursts of bone shattering and screams on the ground. When the shadow of the fist dissipated, the members of the Yufeng guards were all turned into piles of meat paste, dying in an extremely miserable manner. Oh my God! He's too strong. He's a dual profession cultivator. And he's reached level 6. When did we humans have such a terrifying existence? The surroundings were in an uproar, and all the onlookers could not stay calm. The eyes that looked at Su Chen were filled with admiration and reverence. The remaining dozen evolvers stood rooted to the ground, their hearts in turmoil. They didn't know whether to continue attacking Su Chen or not. Or flee immediately. However, it seemed that no matter what he chose, he would not be able to escape death. Leave no one alive. Su Chen winked at Yang Hao and the others. Kill. Yang Hao and the others had been holding back for a long time. They roared and charged forward. Wu Yang and Yang Ling Tian followed suit. More than a dozen evolvers from the divine race were easily killed on the spot amidst miserable screams. Su Chen narrowed his eyes, and the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. After killing 100 god clansmen, he got more than 200 fragments, which put him in a good mood. After a while, he picked up the shards under the watchful eyes of the crowd. The surrounding onlookers saw Su Chen grabbing at the air from time to time and felt that it was very strange. However, due to Su Chen's powerful strength, no one dared to say anything. Half an hour later, Su Chen picked up the fragments, returned to the intelligent war chariot, and left. Shenmengfei, where's the lair of the divine race? After the intelligent war chariot left the dock, Su Chen asked Shenmengfei. Since he had a conflict with the divine race, he decided to completely eradicate the divine race's forces on Wangshu Island. Senior, the divine race's lair is at Dongxian Mountain. It's almost 1,000 miles away from here. Shenmengfei replied and then reminded, Senior, if you're in a hurry to go to the mysterious heavenly mainland, I suggest you make a trip to Tianwang City first. Chapter 499. Why do you want to go to Tianwang City? Su Chen was puzzled. Shenmengfei explained, Senior, the teleportation portal to the mysterious heavenly mainland is set up in Tianwang City. The opening time of the portal is not fixed. Sometimes, it opens once a year. Sometimes, it opens for a few months. If we miss the opening time, we don't know how long we'll have to wait. There's such a thing? Su Chen was surprised. He ordered the intelligent war chariot, Satoshi, lock onto Tianwang City. Let's go there first. There were priorities. After all, finding the primordial spirit sculpting fruit tree was the most important thing at the moment. If the teleportation portal still needed some time to open, it would not be too late to hunt down the mutated tribesmen. If the portal was about to open, they would have to go to the mysterious heavenly mainland first. Yes. The intelligent war chariot locked onto Tianwang City and sped forward. It would take at least a few days to reach Tianwang City from here. Since he had nothing to do, Su Chen shifted his gaze to the central control screen. If he encountered any mutated tribesmen or zombies along the way, he could kill them along the way. Very soon, Su Chen discovered that a black dot and a dozen blue dots appeared in a place dozens of miles ahead. Both parties were in a state of pursuit. From time to time, the blue dots would disappear from the screen. This situation must be caused by the mutated tribesmen hunting humans. Since they were on the way, Su Chen planned to kill them along the way. Hence, he whispered, Satoshi, go after them. Rumble. The intelligent war chariot increased its speed to the maximum and sped forward. A few minutes later, a green-skinned mutated tribesman appeared in front of them. At this moment, the mutated tribesman was sitting leisurely on a rock with a mocking look on his face. At his feet, a human girl was kneeling on the ground. She was trembling as she begged the mutated tribesman for mercy. As for the other humans, they had all been killed by the mutated tribesman. Do you know which tribe he is from? Su Chen looked at Shen Mingfei and asked. This was the first time he had seen a mutated tribesman with such an appearance. He could not help but be interested. Senior, he's from the Green Mang tribe, Shen Mingfei quickly replied. Is this the territory of the Green Mang tribe? Su Chen asked softly. Shen Mingfei shook her head, indicating that she did not know. Seeing this, Su Chen narrowed his eyes. Previously, on the central control screen, he discovered that there was a relatively large city nearby. It was called Yingxing City, and it was filled with humans. If that was the case, then this place should belong to the humans. Why would they allow a Green Mang to run amok here? Could it be that he was very strong? Humans do not dare to provoke them? Thinking of this, Su Chen asked the intelligent war chariot, Satoshi, what's the cultivation of this Green Mang? The intelligent war chariot immediately replied, he is a level 2 evolver and a level 2 wood element psychic. His cultivation base is so low. Su Chen was puzzled. How dare he act so wantonly under the eyes of humans with such a weak cultivation? And no one dared to interfere? It was too strange. When the intelligent war chariot arrived in front of the Green Mang tribe, Su Chen and the others slowly got off the chariot. Oh my, there are humans coming to me. This is so fun. Seeing Su Chen and the others appear in front of him, the Green Mang tribe was not afraid. Instead, he was unusually excited. Then, he kicked the human girl and said sternly, "Run, or I'll kill you now." The human girl was so scared that she turned around and ran. When she was more than 10 meters away, a cruel smile appeared on the Green Mang tribe's face. With a flick of his finger, a green beam of light shot toward the human woman's back. At this moment, a gray wind blade whistled through the air and easily destroyed the green light. Chapter 500. There's a wind-type magician among you? Interesting, this is really interesting. The Green Mang tribesman did not seem to care that his wood-type technique had been defeated, nor did he seem to be afraid of Su Chen and the rest. At this moment, he was laughing loudly. Is there something wrong with this guy's brain? A complete idiot. Doesn't he know that we're here to kill him? Yang Hao and the rest looked at each other, not knowing what the Green Mang tribesman was up to. Su Chen sized up the Green Mang tribesman curiously and said calmly, "Aren't you afraid that I'll kill you?" "I, Cui Mu, have never known what fear is since I was young." The Green Mang tribesman, Cui Mu, sneered presumptuously and stared at Su Chen. His eyes were full of disdain as he said sarcastically, "I know that you're stronger than me, but so what? Do you dare to kill me? Do you think you can kill me?" As soon as he said this, the expressions of Yang Hao and the rest became very strange. Cui Mu was only a level 2 cultivator. Any one of them could kill him. Who gave him the courage to boast so shamelessly? Su Chen was also shocked. Cui Mu's arrogance seemed to be no less than his. However, he was relying on his unparalleled strength. What right did Cui Mu have to be so arrogant? If that's the case, then I'd like to see what you're capable of. Su Chen was instantly interested and released his mental energy to sweep towards Cui Mu. You've finally made your move. That's great. Feeling a huge invisible force coming towards him, Cui Mu became more and more excited. Just as the mental energy touched Cui Mu, suddenly, a loud sound rang out from his body. Immediately after, a bright green light gathered and after condensing, it turned into a 2-meter-tall green skeleton. As soon as the green skeleton appeared, it pushed its hands outwards, and a huge force shot out from it, tearing apart the spiritual power that was entwining around it. A level 6 puppet. Su Chen raised his eyebrows. Although the spirit he had just released was not at its peak, it was still at level 5. However, it was defeated by the green skeleton in one hit. It was obvious that the green skeleton had definitely reached level 6. Puppets of such a high level were rarely seen. Ha! Human, are you in despair? Chui Mu's face was filled with complacency, and then he said in a mocking tone, if you know what's good for you, then immediately kneel at my feet and break your own arms. Perhaps then I might consider not torturing you. I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you. Su Chen rubbed his nose and immediately released his mental strength to envelop the green skeleton. Master, I've been bound by a powerful spiritual force. Even though Su Chen's spiritual power was suppressed by a level, the spiritual power he released at full strength still exceeded the level of level 6. The green skeleton noticed that something was wrong and hurriedly reminded Chui Mu. What? Chui Mu was inexplicably terrified, and his expression was so unsightly that it was as if he had eaten shit. On Wangshu Island, the strongest person was only level 6. He only dared to kill humans without restraint because of the protection of the level 6 skeleton puppet. He never thought that he would encounter a human powerhouse that surpassed level 6 here. At this moment, he clearly understood what he was about to face, and his heart jumped to his throat. However, he did not want to die, so he loudly begged Su Chen for mercy. Senior, let me go this time. My father is the city lord of Kai Origin City and is also a level 6 evolved being. As long as you let me go this time, I will definitely give you a generous gift. Su Chen curled his lips. I won't let any of you Green Mang people go. How can I let you live alone? After saying that, he winked at Yang Hao and the other two and warned, I'll leave this guy to you. Remember, don't let him die too easily. Since Chui Mu liked to torture and kill humans so much, he would let Chui Mu have a taste of being tortured and killed himself. Chapter 501. Yang Hao and the other two were like 3 ferocious beasts. They rushed up to Chui Mu and pinned him to the ground. One dug out his eyeballs, one smashed his legs, and the other broke his arms. The division of labor was clear and ruthless. Chui Mu screamed in agony. It was a fate worse than death. They did not stop until Chui Mu was on his last breath. At this time, Su Chen stepped forward and stomped on his head, ending his evil life. After killing Chui Mu, Su Chen turned to smash the green skeleton with a punch. The green skeleton was a level 6 puppet. It was equipped with several level 6 energy stones. Su Chen happily took the level 6 energy stones and picked up a few fragments. Just as he was about to leave, 4 or 5 minibuses came from the direction of Yingxing City. In the blink of an eye, they were in front of Su Chen and the others. Soon, dozens of people came down from the minibuses. When they saw Chui Mu's body on the ground, their faces turned ugly. One of them, an old man with gravel eyes and a stooped body, glanced at Su Chen and the others, and roared fiercely, "Did you kill him?" Su Chen was a little confused. He had killed an alien, which was equivalent to helping the humans. Why did the old man look like he hated him so much? It was as if he had not killed an alien, but his own son. I killed him. Is there a problem? Su Chen did not understand, so he simply replied. There is a big problem. Do you know who he is? Is he someone you can kill? The stooped old man stared at Su Chen as if he wanted to eat him. He gritted his teeth and roared. Since I've killed him, what do you want? Su Chen rubbed his nose and said indifferently. The stooped old man's face was cold. He snorted and said, Since you have made such a big mess, of course I have to capture you to apologize to the Green Mang tribe. As soon as he finished speaking, he waved his hand and the men behind him rushed toward Su Chen. Seeing this, Su Chen's eyes flashed coldly, and he instantly released his mind power. With a series of loud bangs, the heads of the humans who had rushed up exploded one after another. In the blink of an eye, apart from the hunchbacked old man, all of his subordinates had become headless corpses. What's going on? Looking at the terrifying and strange scene before him, the hunchbacked old man's eyes widened. His mind buzzed, and he seemed to have been petrified. At this moment, he suddenly realized that the young man in front of him was actually a powerful spirit reader master. When he thought about how he had threatened to capture such a terrifying existence, his heart turned cold. "Do you still want to capture me now?" Su Chen narrowed his eyes and stared at the hunched old man as he mocked. The hunchbacked old man came back to his senses and swallowed his saliva with difficulty. Then, he knelt on the ground and said in a trembling voice, "Senior, I was wrong. I failed to recognize Mount Tai." Su Chen's eyes were cold as he said in a deep voice, "I'm curious. I killed the foreign tribesmen. Why are you helping the foreign tribesmen to capture us?" Under Su Chen's intense gaze, the hunchbacked old man confessed honestly, "Chui Mu is not an ordinary person. He is the son of Chui Hao from the Green Glow tribe. His death involves too many people. If we don't give an explanation, Yingxing City will definitely suffer from their revenge." "Hee," Su Chen sneered and said sarcastically, "In order to please the foreign tribesmen, you actually captured your own people. You are not worthy to be called humans. You are no different from animals." The hunchbacked old man lowered his head and was speechless. Over the years, in order to please the Green Glow tribe, they had betrayed many of their own people for Chui Mu to torture and kill. Although they were not affiliated with the Green Glow tribe on the surface, they had secretly become the Green Glow tribe's lackeys. However, in this world where the strong preyed on the weak, they did not think that it was wrong to do so in order to survive. You're tuning into the Dreamy Love Stories YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.